This episode of Pondoff's Anonymous is brought to you by McKelvey Insurance Group. If you've ever felt confused or overwhelmed by insurance, McKelvey Insurance Group keeps it simple. They are an independent agency, which means they compare options from multiple providers to find the coverage that actually fits you and your needs, not just one company's policy. There's no pressure, no jargon, just honest guidance and real help. Call Evan McKelvey at McKelvey Insurance Group at 618-623-0080. You can reach out to us at Pondoff's Anonymous and we'll connect you. Or visit their website at mckelveyins.com. That's McKelveyins.com. We couldn't produce this show without them. This episode of Pondoff's Anonymous is brought to you by Light Source. What do we need when we're in the dark? Sometimes it's simply just a light source.
Yeah. I'll react if I had to. Put some things in the past too, and don't let them distract you, but react if you have to. React if you have to, yeah. Don't know the time, yeah. Just know that I'm, yeah, one of a kind, yeah. What's on your mind, yeah. Well, hard to find, yeah. Beautiful mind, yeah. Still in my prime, yeah. Just know that I'm here.
All right. Welcome, Pondoff's Anonymous. Episode something, season 3. We still got our TV going.
18.
Well,
This is
18.
turn it off?
No,
We're streaming our own podcast on the TV silently to get views. So if you're wondering why the TV's on, it's not the news.
To get views.
Well, it is Anthony's.
Yeah,
wish-
we're just extremely narcissistic.
right, we just like to watch ourselves.
Watch yourselves.
I actually hate watching myself and was hoping we could put on the news, but I don't think any of us agree on the news channel, so we'll throw the podcast. We might actually agree on it, but I've been excited for this episode since we started the podcast in 2025 because I've always wanted to have you on, Angie.
Oh, well, thank you for that.
Fun fact, I have you saved as 2 different last names on my phone. Which one's right today?
Isam.
Got it.
Isam is the right one. Yeah.
I think I have it. Is it your maiden name?
Yes.
Yes, Scheffler.
No, my maiden name is Isam.
Isam. Okay. All right.
Yes.
All right. I have because of Scotty the golfer.
Yes.
Are you familiar with
Scotty
that?
Scheffler.
I think
Oh,
why
yeah.
I think that's why it stuck. So I will make sure.
No
I change
relation.
It. You know, none.
No, unfortunately not.
Because he's making a lot.
Yeah, he's making
of
a
money.
lot of money. If so, I would know about
Sure,
it. for
sure.
Yeah.
World number 1. Hey, where were you? Welcome back. You just went on a great trip.
Yeah, Destin. Was in Destin for a week. Yeah.
How-
So nice.
Is that why you're so tan?
That is why I'm so tan, and I'm kind of peeling like a
Oh, I love to peel.
amphibian a little bit.
Do you peel yourself?
Like I look like I got alopecia. I go, I think that's when your hair falls out, not your skin. Like, it's not alopecia.
Do you pick yourself when you peel?
No.
I'm weird like that.
No, I don't. I pat. Like I
Okay.
have braids on. I pat. Yeah.
Oh, I love
Because
that.
if you pick, it'll scar.
Yeah.
I can't
And it'll just keep
scar
on
up.
going.
Yeah. No, I made that mistake. I peeled one time really bad. A few years ago, I wore a 2-piece to the beach, which I haven't done maybe ever.
with
And
that pigment.
imagine my stomach has never seen the light of day before, and I laid out. Literally, I laid out.
Get a little crunchy.
Very. I'm talking, I peeled a little bit off my stomach and the whole layer came off. It was like a literal, burn at that
Oh my
point because
God.
I had peeled the fucking skin
It was
off.
like a snake skin coming
Yeah,
off.
that's what I was thinking
it was
of.
horrible.
Your whole
and
six
then,
pack.
Yeah. Talk
whole
about
six
washboard abs. Yeah, no. Rock hard in a different reason. It was just the skin it was a whole scab. I was just a ginormous scab and it burned anything I tried to put on it to relieve any sort of.
Oh boy. Yeah, you need
Anyway,
probably the highest level.
I don't pick. I don't peel.
Yeah.
I don't.
I don't pick or peel.
I pat maybe. I mostly
yeah.
just dissociate.
So you had a good trip.
I did. Great
The
trip.
pictures were great. It looked.
Thank you.
I get like jealous, FOMO jealous on that stuff.
Yeah, the red flag. I had to get a picture with the red flag.
That
Did you see that one.
That was the funniest one you did.
Yes.
it was a picture of you and a big red flag saying, I can't avoid them or something.
Yeah, it's just me ignoring red flags since 1999.
Got it.
Because it was a red flag at the beach day, and we were going in the water. And
Sure.
I'm like, oh, this reminds me of my life.
I'm screaming.
The red flags are waving. Like,
That's funny.
we don't give no shits.
That's early running for title of this, is ignoring red flags since 1999.
There
Kurt's
you
a
go.
big episode title guy.
Hey, that's a good one. We'll take it. Yeah.
That
Do-
was funny.
How long were you down
Now,
there?
at least.
A week. Yeah.
With family?
Friends. Yeah. A friend of mine. I was like, I can't do vacation this year. I can't afford it. And a good friend of mine was like, hey, we have this Airbnb. We have an extra room.
So
Here's some
fun.
points for your airline miles. Get a
Aw.
ticket. And I'm like,
Oh.
I love you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sweet
And it
baby
was
Jesus.
therapeutic, wasn't it?
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
fine if I never stay in a hotel again. Give me
Yeah.
Airbnbs
All day
every trip
long.
I take.
Yeah.
Is it because of the bang for the buck? Or do you like it because it's...
I like the privacy element to it, where it's just like the house is your own, couple bathrooms.
Okay.
If you got a group, splurge, get a pool. You just got everything you need right there. I like to cook on
your own
vacation.
Ah.
I also like it's like you talk to the host. Like I can see like I'm going with the super host every time. I'm not like chancing it with like a newbie or whatever. You get to see like stars, what other people like. It's just very structured. You know exactly what to expect.
Okay.
But
Very comfortable.
I've never booked one on my own.
Really?
On an Airbnb. I've stayed with like, if we had 15 people in an Airbnb house in like South Haven, we did it once in Michigan, or even in Temecula. We got for a wedding. Our family got it. I think it was a cartel mansion out in Temecula where like 20 people stayed. And there was, I'm telling you, it had to be like a cartel house in the 30 or 40 years ago. It was gaudy and there were tunnels.
Wait, cool.
Yeah, it was awesome.
That's
don't get me
really
wrong.
cool.
They're like
There's real
secret-
Chapo feel
I know.
into it.
I
Yeah.
just started watching Narcos. This is fun.
It was. I mean, I'm telling you, it's right out of it, and I never booked it, so I have not booked an Airbnb, but I think we're gonna have to in Milan next for this wedding.
It's fun to like scroll around because you can just like you search
You
like
could do
the
a virtual
map.
tour and like,
Yeah, like if you put in your price range and then your dates, you can scroll out to the map and it shows you all these little pinpoints of like
It's
this.
kind of like what you were showing me earlier with the dating apps.
Kind of like that. And I've
They
never
have prices on them, so I don't know what
Well,
app
the dating
Kurt's-
app might
Right.
have them too, depending on.
I've never done this before,
front.
but there's been a couple weekends where I just wanted to get out of the house, and I've looked at Airbnbs in St. Louis just
Really?
to do
Yeah.
like a one-night staycation. Usually I'm looking for like a hot tub. I want a hot tub night.
a house I like have to pick up after myself when I leave, but I don't have to clean it.
Just like a Huntley hot tub.
Dog friendly. Me and Monty just get out for the night and go sleep in somebody else's house.
It's
That
just
sounds strange when you say
little-
it like that. Go sleep in someone
said-
else's house. We're gonna borrow your bed.
Have
for
you
the
ever
night.
done it where the host lives there and you're just
Yep.
like, you've
Oh,
done
no,
that? I
that's-
can't do it.
I know somebody that did that, and the people were upstairs and they stayed, and like they stayed
Yep.
downstairs. And
No,
I'm like,
I'm-
that's just weird.
I did do that once in a bed and breakfast in Branson.
Yeah, didn't realize. I didn't realize that it was like we would be staying in this room, and then there's the bathroom, and then the man.
There's Pawpaw and Mama next door.
Literally just
Yeah.
Pawpaw.
just
Pawpaw.
Oh, that's even more weird.
right there.
You step out of the shower and he's sitting on the toilet reading the paper.
I just didn't realize it would be such close
And
quarters.
when Pawpaw's staying in the house, the springs in your bed are extra loud. You know, he's listening to every. Exactly, Angie. So, Angie, it's such a pleasure to have you sit in with us finally.
Thank you. Long time coming.
Been trying to get you scheduled since opening day at IRC, which was June of 2023, so almost 3 years.
Your white whale, you finally got her.
Yeah, finally. You are the director of admissions here at Illinois Recovery Center.
Yes, sir.
And we are in Swansea, Illinois. How far do you drive to work every day?
I live in St. Peters, Missouri, so it's about a 50-minute drive.
Yeah, it's a hike.
Both ways.
It's a hike.
And it's because
Yeah, it's down the gauntlet too, down 70. I go 70 because it's the fastest way,
Right.
but it's really like on the way to work, like every morning.
Oh my god.
I mean,
it's
like an IndyCar race.
It is.
Wow.
People are like, "Why you drive so fast?" And I'm like, "I'm used to 70 in the morning. You know, you got to keep up."
And were you in Dittmer working before this?
I was
How far
was.
was Dittmer from St.
the
Peter?
same distance, but a much different
Sure.
drive. much different
back
country
roads,
back
right.
road, beautiful scenery drive, and drove out here the first time. I'm like, holy shit, this is a tour.
Where are you from?
South St. Louis.
Okay, so Dittmer had a little bit of a culture shock.
Well, I just went there to work and then back.
Okay.
So I
What's?
didn't. Yeah.
I'm so sorry. What
sorry.
is?
I worked at a treatment center in
There's a
Dittmer,
treatment-
Missouri.
Oh, it's a place.
yeah.
Ditmer.
Dittmer. Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
It sounds country, doesn't it?
Kinda
Dittmer.
rural.
That's where
Ditmer,
Papa's from.
Missouri.
Little, I think of
Papa's
like
from down there. Is that where you got your Airbnb
Yeah,
from?
I think of Deliverance when I
Oh,
think
yeah.
of
It's like
Dittmer.
You hear the banjo.
Yeah.
You got a pretty mouth.
She's seen it.
You hear the banjo in the background.
I
Someone
told
playing
you she was going to be
spoons.
fun. Angie, don't play. And you worked
no.
at the treatment center with a lot of people that are here now.
Yes.
Because I...
Compliments of Eric, by the way, is how I ended up in Dittmer. Because I lived in St. Anne at the time, and I was working at the outpatient part of this treatment center that was
Oh.
in Maryland Heights, which was 5 minutes from my house.
Coincidentally, right across Weldon Parkway, I worked right across the street
Okay.
from that outpatient when they opened it.
Okay, well, I opened it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay.
She said, "Okay, well, I
And,
opened it."
I was there working,
She wins.
and I got under admissions, and Eric's my new boss, and my boss at the time's like, they won't drive to Dittmer, they're not going, and Eric's like, give me 5 minutes, and he goes in there and does his thing, and he's like, they're going to be at Dittmer on Monday, and I'm like, this.
That's
Right.
yeah, for sure. Well, when he, I remember him and I met for dinner, and he was laying out his dream, and we tell the story all the time because I was all ears. And as much as I wanted in on his dream, I didn't want to, I wanted to be a listener, believe it or not, that night, Zoe. And
night.
Eric was just
First
telling us
and only.
all about his dream and the people that he could envision on board. And you're at the top of the list, and I couldn't wait to meet you. And like a month or two later, my friend was like, "So about that dream, is there any way can I get in on that? Like, I want to help. I love. It's like a shared passion and a calling. I do believe in that shit. And then I just kept showing up here until finally.
They're like, okay, you're in.
So
Right.
we actually can't get rid of him.
Yeah.
So
Right.
can
They're
someone
like,
give
well,
him a job?
You're not drunk or high, so you can't just stay here unless you give us some money. And here we are. So, but
You got your own room back here.
Right.
And when did you? Because you started obviously before we opened. When did you? Do you remember when you first came out here to see the place?
Yeah, I do remember.
How did
coming.
that? Like, what state was the building?
The inside was good. So Eric won't let me live it down either. We pulled up on property and like it was all overgrown outside,
Yeah.
and like there was no like where to drive. And we like pulled in, and he's outside all excited and like, come inside. And I'm like, what are you gonna do about this landscape? And he's like, motherfucker, Angie.
Hold on.
He's like, I got bigger fish to fry. And the inside, it was cool. A couple of the buildings were done, and he had
Yeah.
done a lot of work already. I didn't believe
That's
him.
so funny. First thing you say when you get out of the car, like, I actually don't care what the work you've done. Like, this
fucking
is a
put some
mess.
mulch
Like,
down?
can you invite me back in a week? Like,
Right? He's like, I don't give a shit.
You gonna
He gives
weed?
me trouble all the time about that, for real. But when he told me, because he was like, I'm going to open my own, I want you to come with me. Will you come? And I was like, sure. And I'm like, this
Whoa.
guy.
Well,
This
I can
guy.
I can verify when we sat down at the bar and he was telling names, like he's like, can't do it on my own. I got this team that we share a dream and mission, and he was beaming, and yeah, so he was gonna do it, and you were coming. I think the same. I don't think he was gonna take no for an answer.
He also gives me crap about that, because I was really like, I wanted to come, and I believed in his dream, and I was excited for him, but I was scared. Like I
Sure.
had this good job. I took his position because he was like, when he
Right.
left the other place, he was like, take my job. I'm like, I'm not qualified to be a director. And he's like, what are you going to do? Teach someone else to do your job? And I'm like, okay, you're right.
Truly, like
right.
So I applied and I did it, and he was kind of consulting for a little while with me, and which was awesome. And so when he was like, okay, I found the place, I'm opening, and I was like, this is a big job I have, like this big girl job that I don't feel like I'm qualified for, and I'm really scared to like jump ship, but I want to believe in what you got going on. And And ultimately, obviously, I came, right? But he told me at one point, he's like, I understand if you can't do it. Like, I won't be mad. We'll still be friends. And he tells me, like, a few months later, he's like, if you wouldn't have come, I would have cut your ass off. He's like, he's
So
like,
if
I
you
was
hear
just
that
trying to
from
make you
Eric
feel
ever,
better. Yeah.
If like, I
yeah,
understand,
okay,
we'll
yeah.
still be friends.
Just
No.
no full shit.
Yeah.
He's gonna, you're done.
Yeah, you're done. No more Eric
Damn.
Conley. No more Eric Conley for you. I'm done.
He's a busy man.
I was like, thanks, buddy. No, I'm glad. So it's been great.
How long were you? I mean, so admissions and treatment, working in treatment has been which I mean, there's a lot of roles as I've learned since. I still don't know much from being on the outside besides just kind of listening and learning from you guys. But the admissions process is so. I mean, you want to talk about. And for you guys that maybe don't know, and it may sound cliche, but you can talk about like front line.
Yeah.
Absolute front
Yeah.
door. Oftentimes the first face a client sees is yours.
Yes.
And
Lucky them.
Oh.
truly. I mean, it's not just the beauty that you are, Angie, but the like the embrace. There's something matriarchal about you. When you come in
Queen shit.
to treatment.
That's what I'm saying. You like walked in. I saw you walking on the sidewalk. I was like, I think Angie's here. Does she have long hair? He was like, yeah. I was like, it's her. She's coming.
I've
She's
seen,
coming. Here
I've
she
seen
comes.
you walk out to the car, and the person that gets out of the car, he or she is at the ultimate low point of their life. When they get out of that car, they don't know that it is going to catapult them hopefully up. But you talk about meeting them where you help them grab a bag, and there's something about just the look you give them that you're going to be safe and you're in the right place. I mean, I get goosebumps. Just I've seen
You
it
just
happen
gave
so
me
many
goosebumps.
times.
I also got some goose.
Yeah. Thank you.
and we can get a little bit later into the admissions process, but I don't. You've lived this,
Yes.
and your life has been up and down because of it, and I don't know all the details, so I actually enjoy that better because a lot of times I'll have people on and I know their story. I don't know all of yours. I've been excited to hear it. I know that some of the highlights, but when you walk out and meet somebody at that car in their circle drive, it's like, I don't know, there's something, and I'm safe saying this to you, it is such God shit that like you just come out and see them and welcome them. I mean, that is holy stuff. I don't want to mix up. Like, it is a holy moment in my
Thank
opinion.
you. It's real too. Like
Sure.
This is a job, yes, it pays my bills, yes, and it can be tedious, whatever, but it's like every person that shows up here, I think about myself going somewhere and how I felt and how scared I was and how even though when I had gone before and had gotten better, like had some clean time or whatever, knowing that life would get better, it's just so scary. It's like you don't want to let go of this misery that you've been holding on to, and it's even though there's something better on the other side, you just don't want to let go. And I remember there was a lady that worked at a treatment center that I went to. She still works there. Actually, I just went and saw her not too long ago. But she worked at the front desk of the place that I went, and I had been on a wait list for like, I think a month and a half. And they finally
really?
called me, and they were like, "Hey, we have a bed." And I'm like, "Oh shit." I got like
Right.
a pocket full of dope.
Does
and
that
like,
mean
I'm
I
not ready
have
right
to
now.
go?
Yeah, like, dude, I got. But I did. I got myself together. Like, be here at 10 a.m. I think I showed up at like 5 p.m. But I showed up.
Yeah.
And her name is Sherry, and she met me at the front, and she was just a very welcoming, like. She just made me feel like I was in the right place, and I was not in my right mind when I checked in there by any means, because that bag of dope in my pocket
Sure.
was gone by the time I made it there. But I was, I just remember Sherry, and then she made me feel so comfortable. And throughout my whole stay there, she was there all the time, and she'd help us make coffee, and she still works there. I went by there the other day and just showed up. I was like, "Hey," and she's like, "Oh my gosh, Angie," and asked how my daughter was doing, and she's like, "I'm so proud of you," and you're one of the success stories we have from here, and that also makes my heart happy. So
It's so, I hear you just say those sentences, and for you, even at the moment when Eric mentioned, take my job, you didn't think you were qualified to do it. Like, there's no school that gives you this. I mean, maybe the school of what we say is maybe hard knocks, but this is the lived experience of what I can't imagine a treatment center having a director of admissions that has not walked some kind of this walk. And so, I mean, and that, just hearing you say that, like, you may never see your own value, but it's invaluable.
Oh, thank you. That's
And this, I mean, it's
Okay,
God.
Thanks.
Truly, though,
That was
man,
a little
it's
softy.
God shit. I really think so. How old were you when you started using?
the first time I had a drink, I was in like first grade, I think.
boy.
And I remember it. Like, it's so weird. I remember it. Like, you know, there's like these Tupperware cups. They're like blue, green, red. Like, they're little like Tupperware cups. And when we were little, like, everybody had these cups. And I remember my sister, she's 4 years older than me, and I always wanted to hang around with her. So I went to her, a sleepover with some of her friends, and the mom was letting them drink some of the beer, the Bush beer and the Crisper. And I was like, hey, so I mixed some with some Kool-Aid, some grape Kool-Aid.
So that
in
puts
one of
them
those
like in
cups.
5th grade?
Yeah.
Wow.
And the mom was like, yeah, drink the beer and the Crisper. They were having a brownies, like Girl Scout, like brownies sleepover. And she was like, yeah, you guys can try it. And I remember drinking it. And not that it tastes good or anything, but like, who
Right.
remembers that anyway? And then someone from the brownies group told on the mom. And like, but
Fair.
we went to Catholic
As
school,
they
and some
should.
big trouble happened. Like, she got in trouble and stuff. But yeah.
Fair.
So not like I became a drunk that day, but I remember
Sure.
specifically drinking for the first time there. And I think it really picked up like 11, 12. Kind of, I think the first time I smoked a joint, I was like 12, and then
And when you say you grew
13.
up South St. Louis, like city or?
Yeah, city, state
Okay.
streets. Yeah, California.
Okay.
Oh,
Not to be
California
confused with
Street?
Utah.
Yeah, California. Yeah.
My roommates now just moved from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that considered Dutchtown there?
Kind of up the road, up Merrimack a little ways is
Okay.
Dutchtown. Yeah. I lived at California Merrimack.
Well, the age-old high
right
school
there.
question, the St. Louis.
So I went, when
so
I
can
went,
judge you. What high school?
when
did you
I
go to?
went visual performing arts.
I was gonna guess you were a Rough Rider.
Oh, no. I didn't go much. Like, freshman year, I dropped out.
What's a
so-
Rough Rider?
Roosevelt.
Roosevelt,
Okay.
yeah. No, I went to a magnet school, so I got into that visual performing arts, but I dropped out freshman year. By
You
the
dropped
time
out of high school freshman year
Oh, yeah.
because of alcohol and drugs, or
It was a multitude of things. So I went to Catholic school from 1st to 5th grade, or kindergarten to 5th grade, and then the Catholic school closed down because there wasn't enough attendance. Well, my parents couldn't afford it, actually. For my 5th grade year, they couldn't afford it, and a teacher, like, paid the tuition for me and my two sisters. It was crazy. But so 5th grade was my last year, then they closed down. So 6th grade, I had to start public school, which was kind of a shock. So now
Yeah.
I'm taking the bus, right? And I went to Academic Athletic Academy, which is also a magnet school. And my first experience on the bus, this boy used to bully me on the bus. His name was Tony. I remember his face specifically. He used to beat my ass in the
Oh,
back of the
physically?
bus.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
physically
Jesus.
beat my ass. And I was like, it was crazy. and
What
then
the
I
fuck?
told one of my friends' boyfriends, and he met him at the bus stop one day and beat the shit out of him.
Nice.
I was so happy
Good.
for that. I was like,
South
thanks.
City Justice right
Yes,
there.
right there, right there. But so that was my first experience with public school. And then by then, I think 6th or 7th grade. So I went 6th, 7th. All my friends from Catholic school went to St. Thomas, and they ended up going to St. Anthony's, but my parents couldn't afford it. So we ended up at Academic Athletic Academy and went there 6th, 7th, 8th grade. And by 8th grade, I was already like party scene for my first boyfriend. And I was like 14, I think, and heavy drinkers. And
were boys as big of a problem as like the alcohol, or would
no,
just all together?
So that was my first boyfriend, was 14, 15. And I had a pact with my best friend, like, we're not going to lose our virginity till we're 18. And so I had that boyfriend, and he was
Catholic
my first.
girls? Well done.
Yeah. It was so.
That's-
she broke the
that's
pact
interesting.
like way soon, and I was like, you fucked it up. But
It's her fault.
no, I
damn
had
it.
a boyfriend. So my my picker is broken. I had the
I'm
same
screaming.
man in a different skin suit for all my life, I think. Like, it's
What?
like the drug dealer.
Oh,
like
I was
the same man in a different skin
Yeah, I
suit.
skin suit really just
Yeah,
threw me. I was
threw you
like,
off. It's like Men in Black.
I'm
like-
there. I get it now.
Interesting.
She
I-
got a type.
Yeah, I had a type. Yeah, I have.
Chris
type.
makes fun
I
of
don't
me.
know. But I know
Say what you
boys
want. We
weren't
can
a problem.
edit what we can edit something if you say something that you want us to edit.
No,
out.
you're good. The boys weren't a problem. I had that boyfriend, and that was my boyfriend, and so he was the life of the party and all this. And then he ended up started selling drugs, and then he was selling crack out in front of the house.
Oh,
and
shit.
So then that turned into cocaine, and then it escalated pretty quickly.
Oh, we started with crack and then did interesting.
So it's your parents and you and a sister.
So I have two sisters. I'm the middle. I have
Okay.
an younger and an older sister in the middle. And so we grew up on California Merrimack. My grandfather owned a 2-family flat. My sister's mom and dad lived downstairs. Grandma and grandpa lived upstairs. Grandma passed away when I was pretty young, but grandpa was always up there. Then mom and dad, it's kind of like when everything started picking up. Mom and dad got divorced. Well, my dad kidnapped me. It's a crazy story. I can tell a little bit of it if you want.
Yes.
fucking hear it,
Yes.
Angie. That's
Kind of kidnapped me.
we love when you
Yes.
just big T trauma dump.
So I went on a trip with some friends of mine where I would drink the Busch beer. Well, I went with their mom to see their dad in Texas, and I was gone for about a week. 12 years old, come back, and my dad's sitting on my friend's porch, like waiting for me. And I'm thinking, like, what are you doing here, Dad? Like, and my dad drank. He worked hard. He would drink a 6-pack every night when he'd come home from work, but he never got like crazy drunk. Like I never knew him to be really an alcoholic. He would drink a little bit, pass out, work hard, whatever.
Work hard, play hard.
My mom was never home. She was always up the street at a friend's house. But anyway, so my dad's on the porch waiting for me, and he's like, come on, I'm taking you with me. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, bye, guys.
Here we
Thanks
go.
for the trip. I got my bag
And
already.
how old were you?
12.
Yeah,
12.
I mean-
So my dad's there. Like, there was no... I'm thinking, okay, let's
Right.
go with my dad. So we stay the night at a hotel. He worked at the Arch at the time. He was a janitor at the Gateway Arch. And he took me to work with them in the morning. And we were down like underneath the arch. You can see the grounds of the arch, right? And we're looking, and all of a sudden a bunch of cops show up on the grounds. And he's like, we got to go. Oh. And he's like, we got to go right now. So we go through the back underway, come out, drive to Lambert. We pull up at the airport, get inside, and he's like, pick a place, any place. And I'm like,
Holy shit.
yeah. And I don't know, like I don't
You're
even know. I'm just
12.
with my dad. So I'm like,
And he's
okay,
like,
pick a
we're
place. And I'm
fleeing.
like, a place with the beach, right? And the guy at the counter's like, there's Hawaii, there's what? I'm like, okay, Florida. So Fort Lauderdale, let's go there. My dad's like, okay, boom. Bought the
Lambert was a
tickets.
little different back in the day.
Yeah.
You gotta go to like Louisville and Baltimore to
Right.
get anywhere with the beach now. It's a little bit
Yeah,
harder.
do the
now.
layovers.
Yeah, right.
But so I'm like, Fort Lauderdale. So we bought the tickets. We fly to Fort Lauderdale. And on the way there was the first time I've actually seen my dad like wasted. Like we sit in first class and he's drinking blood. This one they sold drinks on the plane.
Sure.
Bloody Mary after Bloody Mary after Bloody, and he's wasted. And he's like, the flight attendant's name's Angie, and he's like, right. And I'm like, oh God, he's wasted, right? We land in Florida. We rent a car. He's drunk. We get to a hotel. And he's like, go upstairs, leaves me there. I wake up in the morning and he's not there.
Oh.
And I'm like, remember Montel Williams was on TV when I woke
Montel.
up. And I was like, where's my dad? Then someone calls from downstairs and they're like, we're going to need you to come down. My dad apparently ran up the credit card all night at the bar getting money back to go to the strip club. And then in the convertible that we rented, because we rented a convertible, he passed out drunk at a street light. And instead of the cops arresting him, they just had him pull over in the parking lot. And then he had to have the rental car towed to the hotel. So by the time he was coming to pay the hotel bill, the card was maxed out and he couldn't pay the hotel bill. So now they're like, what are you going to do to pay this bill? The tow truck driver's like, I need my money. And so he had to call my grandpa,
Okay.
and wire us some money. So
Whoa.
we did that. And I still have no idea like what's happening. So then that night we ended up going out to the pier, and we were out on the pier fishing all night long. And my dad met this lady. I remember he gave her like this arrowhead necklace he had, and he was drunk. I'm like, man, I didn't realize Dad drank so much. But this lady, I guess, was questioning whether or not I was his daughter. And next thing you know, the police are walking down the pier and like asking me all these questions. And I'm like, yeah, that's my dad, blah, blah, blah. And then he tells me, he's like, me and your mom got into a fight. And I backed up the car and he hit my older sister with the car and broke her arm. And like, we're kind of like on the run. And this lady like had an intuition of like, we're on the run or something. Whoa. And then I was like, what is happening?
Right. And nobody told me this part.
Right. So it was weird. So then we had to catch a plane to Miami where my grandpa bought the tickets, and we flew back, landed in Chicago. And he was so drunk when we went to pick up the rental car, he could not drive. And I've never driven a day in my life. And I was like, Dad, let me drive. And he's like, have you driven before? And I was like, yep.
You're
yep,
like,
I sure
Dad, you
have."
taught me everything I know.
And he's like, and he handed me the keys. And that's how I taught myself to drive. I drove all the way home from Chicago to St. Louis. He's like, stay next to the 18-wheelers. Like, you know where the cops are if you just stay. And
Oh, he's worried about
yeah, and he wouldn't pass out. I was like, go to fucking sleep.
Right,
old
I've
man.
been waiting for
No.
you to.
because safety-wise, I would argue stay away from the.
No, he's like, stay with them. Then you know where the cops are and all this.
screaming.
And I taught myself and drove all the way home, made it safe.
At 12.
Yes.
Wow.
What?
Wonder Woman.
Then what happened to Dad?
So then, well, we got back. My mom was still at the house. My grandpa then was like, he's my dad's dad. No, Mike, you're not coming back into the house. Then my mom ended up leaving us. So left me and my older sister, took my younger sister with her.
Fuck?
And just left.
Why?
And so it was me and my older sister with my grandpa. And now it's kind of like, what happened? What just happened?
Now you've lost your mom and your dad's
Yeah.
in deep shit.
My
You
dad,
lost
he
both?
didn't
And
get
your
in.
sister.
I don't know if he got in any legal trouble for me, but he was gone. Grandpa wouldn't let him come back, and then my younger sister and my mom took off. And it was just me and my older sister and my grandpa, and I'm like,
Where did
wait,
where did
I don't even
your mom
remember.
go?
Now thinking about it, I'm like, I don't know where the fuck everybody went. I don't even remember. Mom took off, and she was gone. She was gone for a little while. Then my dad ended up getting sober. He went to. It's Highland now. It's in St. Anthony's.
Yeah,
Mercy.
yeah.
It was a Highland. It was a inpatient treatment center then. And he went and got sober, and he had a weekend pass. And me and my girlfriend went to stay with them at the hotel for the weekend. And we walked outside of the hotel, which is crazy, in South County, off Lindbergh. And there's a car out there with like a curtain in the window, right? And this lady opens the curtain, and it's my mom living in the car with my younger sister and a baby she just had.
Oh Jesus! This is a
Living
movie.
in the car in this fucking hotel parking lot. And I'm like, Chrissy, oh my God. Like my little sister, like, oh my God. She's 3 years younger than me. So now I'm 13 now. I think she's been gone like a year or whatever. But I was like, oh my God. I was like, can she come and stay in the hotel room with us, right? So we explained
You
to my
hadn't
mom.
seen
that-
your
so
mom
that-
in a
in
while
a year and a
either.
half or something.
Oh my God.
And now she has a new baby, so I have a half sister.
You're like so confused.
And there's another guy with them, and they're literally living in the car in the hotel parking lot. So my mom lets my sister come up and spend the night with us, and in the
Did your
morning
dad know she was there?
No, it was just random. Yeah, my dad had no clue.
That is.
Yeah. So that was weird. So my sister spent the night with us, and then and then the morning, she left with my mom, and I think like a week or so later, my mom came and dropped her off at my grandpa's, and just dropped her off and left.
oh my God. Why'd she take her in the first place?
Well, that's a story I just found out about. Like just when my sister doesn't look like me and my older sister, right? And we used to make fun of her. We're like, you're not dad's. Like you're the milkman's baby. You're not.
You didn't know
dad's.
speaking power to words.
And
there.
so now just this past I guess 3 years ago now, my sister gets a 23andMe,
Yeah.
DNA test, right?
Those fucking things.
And she's like, I'm doing this family tree, and I can't find anything on Dad's side, and she's like worried, and I'm like, Chrissy, I'll get mine, like it'll be fine, like I promise, like. And she's like, no, I don't know, Ian, something's wrong. And I'm like, I'll get mine, it'll be fine. So then she's like, I can't find nothing on this side, and she gives up on the family tree. It's like a year goes by, my dad passes away on Valentine's Day, 2022, I think. Our dad passed away. And then a couple months go by, and she calls me up, and she's like, holy shit. I'm like, what? And she's like, I just got a hit on 23andMe, 99.9% my dad. Match on 23andMe. I'm like, what? No way. And she's like, yeah, this is crazy. I found this guy on Facebook. And so, because I guess they give her the name, right? So she finds this guy on Facebook. She reaches out to him, and he's the son of this guy that's supposed to be her dad.
What?
Yeah. And she's like, hey, I got my DNA, and looks like I might be, I don't want anything from your dad, but I think that he might be my dad. And he's like, we bought my dad a 23andMe for Christmas this year. We
That's
thought it
why
would be.
I'm telling you.
We thought it would be cool, blah blah blah. And so she starts a conversation with this guy, and he's got 2 brothers, and his mom and dad have been married for 35 years. And my sister's just now 37 at this point, right? So we're like, what? So she's like, well, just if you could tell him, I don't know his name. that's horrible. I think it's Joe actually. But she's like, if you could just tell him that, if you feel like you want to tell him, it would be cool. I would just like to get to know him, right?
Sure.
So some time goes by, and sure as shit, the guy reaches out to my sister. And so my sister's working down on the hill at the time at Guido's Pizzeria and Tapas,
Nice.
I think.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And she's working there, kind of managing the place, and come to find out, like, her real dad's brother used to be coming to the bar at the place. She's Sicilian. She's like kind of darker skin, dark hair, and we always be like, she likes to cook a lot, and I'm like, you something.
She's Sicilian?
So she met him, and they met, and she sends me a picture of them together, and it's a
you're
happy
like-
story. Like, she met her brothers. Joe's in her life. He was just at my nephew's or my niece's birthday party.
So that's why she
And-
only took your youngest.
His name, yeah, and his name's Joe. My dad's name was Joe, and she didn't find out about him till my dad passed, and we wonder if my dad knew maybe that she
Yeah.
wasn't his. But it's a good story now. Like it's a cool, like, it's giving me goosebumps too.
Yeah, that, I mean.
Yeah.
I'm
that's-
happy for her.
Yeah, it turned
Truly.
out it could have been totally different story. But anyway, that's why she.
Cool.
I could talk for hours.
That's okay.
about
So you're
my-
13.
Really?
Yeah,
We're like in.
That's what we're doing.
So you're 13 and all this is happening in the, like, how, in your mom, is she still around?
No, she's
Okay.
passed.
So
Yeah, she's passed.
did you guys have any type of rekindling or? Okay.
No, she. So we had that baby was my half sister who had Down syndrome. But then, so I don't know. She left. Next time I seen her, I think I was working at Planet Hollywood. Planet Hollywood
Wow,
opened
on the
downtown,
landing.
and when I heard that place was opening, I was like, "We're gonna apply, please!" Like, it was a crazy audition. Like, they took your picture and put all these pictures on the
Oh,
wall.
wow.
And,
Like a movie store?
It was Planet Hollywood. It's
So think Hard Rock Cafe, but Planet Hollywood's like a themed restaurant
owned
St. Louis
by-
had one?
Yes.
This is going
on the
back.
on the
landing.
landing.
1990
Okay.
something.
Was it the place to be? Was it?
It was the place. Well, when I heard they were opening, now it was owned by Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone, Demi Moore.
Whoa.
Yeah, and they would make appearances at the. that
Yeah, I
was the
met
thing,
all
like
of them.
these-
Like, it was a cool.
yeah.
I got the job, by the way. I was like,
I
I was
believe
working
it.
at Tucker's place in Soulard at the time, and they had an advertisement, and I told my
Great
girlfriend, I'm like,
steaks
I'm
at
going to go
Tucker's.
down there and apply for this job, and I got through the process and got the job. And
A
it
lot of
was
blow at
so-
sundowners down there. It's-
Well, yeah, we used to hang. Yeah, that's. I was so bad there. Like, I wasn't even 21, and
Maybe we did
at the
blow
bar
together.
next to. We might have. I was on the landing, and that was a party town. I mean, party time when I
Yeah.
worked there, Planet Hollywood. But it was awesome. I don't even know how I got on the tangent of Planet Hollywood.
Well,
You go. You got to get me back on track.
Because that's
Chris,
when
'cause I'll go.
the next time you saw your mom.
Oh yeah, so I'm working. I'm at the hostess stand. I'm working. It's
Mm-hmm.
a cool job. Your music's going, whatever. And she comes walking in. She comes right up to the hostess stand, and she's like, "I'm looking for my sister. My younger sister worked there with me too. We both
Nice.
worked there." And she comes right up to the hostess stand, and she's like, "I'm looking for my daughter Angie," and she's talking to me. And I'm
Oh,
like,
wow.
And I'm like,
Said never heard of her.
I'm like, okay. And I go in the kitchen. I'm like, oh my God, my mom's up front. And my sister was waiting tables. And I was like, Chrissy, oh my God, And then my boss went up there and was like, yeah, she's not working today. And
Oh, really?
so at that time I was about
It's a good boss.
19, 20, I think, by then.
Was your mom real sick?
I don't. My mom was, when I was growing up, I really was like attached to her hip. I saw a lot of things growing up that I shouldn't have seen.
Sure.
Before that happened with my mom and dad, I walked in on her having sex with her best friend's husband, and I was right before
That's
right
something
before
nobody
the
should see.
kidnapping happened, right?
Sure.
And she seen me see this, and she chased me outside, and she's like, "Please don't tell your dad."
Oh.
Like, please don't tell your dad. And I was just like, first of all, I had never seen, I mean, I knew what I saw, but I was like, what the fuck? And this is the place, like, every day my mom would take her best friend, and best friend's husband had kids our age, and we were all friends with them. And so we would go there all the time and, like, hang out and, like,
Yeah, you said she was always down the street at a
yeah.
friend's house.
And we were there. My dad would be home drinking a 6-pack by himself, and we'd be up there thinking, and they smoked weed. We could always smell it and stuff like that. But I don't know, up until that point, when I walked in on her, I idoled her. Like, I was with her everywhere she went. But I remember one time, like, I jumped in the back of the truck and I hid in the back of the truck, and we showed up somewhere, and I was like, surprise! And she's like, what are you doing here? You're not supposed to be here. I'm going to clean this house, and you're not supposed to be here. And we walk up to the door and knock on the door, and this guy opens the door with the leopard Speedo on.
Nice. God.
And he's like, my daughter. She's like, and he's like, oh, put on a robe, and she set me down to watch TV and went and cleaned the house. Yeah.
Okay.
So, I don't know.
Yeah. I'm not a clinician, but
Yeah.
this is a lot.
Yeah.
This is a lot. And we haven't even got into this.
We haven't got into anything. Like,
you- Yeah, I mean, but like
you got another person coming
it
after
doesn't
me.
even.
No, we have gotten into things. We're talking about your life. It's
It
important.
doesn't even. Yeah, I mean,
No matter what part of it we're talking
you
about.
were ripe for some self-medication.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because I hear a lot of stories. People say like, "Oh, stuff that happened to them and stuff," and I'm like, I didn't really have it bad. Like I don't know how that turned into what it did.
Yeah,
But now when I just
Angie,
said all that in one big swoop,
Sure.
I'm like, well, fuck.
Angie,
Give
that's a
yourself
lot.
some
I fit them all
credit.
perfect.
Give yourself some credit.
I appreciate you and your smile and all the work you've done, but that's a fucking lot of acute traumatic instances, let alone a sustained childhood of dysfunction and toxicity.
Right.
It's not.
And like unsureness, like not sure of like, especially it sounds like after you like you were humbled into like, oh, so my mom is a human also, like she's not just like this all perfect
Right.
thing. It's like it seems like maybe that was like the first big grief, and then it just kept
Yeah.
going. Like you saw.
Then my
world.
dad, I saw that. Then my dad was right at it. Was right after that. Then they were gone, and
like
so it was
grief after
kind of
grief
crazy. I
after
think. I
grief.
mean, my grandpa. Thank God for my grandpa. Like he was just like
He was your North
everything.
Star. Huh?
He was in that for a long, long time.
I know you as a real big Jesus freak like Zoe and I.
Jesus
and-
freak.
Hell yeah.
I love Jesus. Yes, Jesus
and
loves
like,
you.
what was your faith like at that age? Did you have?
Well, I mean, I grew up a Catholic
Sure.
school, and I was, Jesus
why
was
we're
sca-
checking
Jesus
in
was
on you.
scary. Jesus was, I
Yeah,
lied in
basically.
confession. I would go to confession and make up
They
bullshit.
could right
Because I was like, okay, I gotta go. I gotta
Catholic-
tell him something.
I'm
What do I
recovering
scream?
Catholic.
Yeah.
Also. It's like a
Recovering
good
Catholic.
way of
Yeah.
scaring
I've been to
the
mass
fuck out
like
of you.
twice in my life, but I've heard stories.
Yeah,
I mean, it was cool. It was good. I mean, I got my first communion and stuff like that, but I was scared, like,
Yeah.
of like if you're doing bad shit, you're going to be in trouble.
God-fearing,
Yeah,
as
God
opposed to
fearing.
God-loving.
Yes, God fearing.
When did you? Because you at some point in your journey, you feel like you've pivoted from that to a all-in like God-loving life.
Yeah, when I went to that treatment center, they took us to church. It's a Pentecostal church, but they took us to church on Sundays, and so I was like, this is
Sure.
different,
Right,
right?
right.
Because I'm like, sit, kneel, stand, shut up, sit, kneel, stand,
Right.
shut up,
Right.
look, read, see, oh,
Right.
you gotta.
You wanna get in, you better
oh,
fucking-
no, no. Yeah, you better do right. And then I go here, and they're like jumping around and singing, and the music's like bumping, and like the message was
Little
good.
fog machine
Yeah,
moment.
kind of. And I was like, first it was kind of weird, but then I was
Right
like getting
away.
into it, then I was like feeling the music, and I would maybe a little bit of a spiritual awakening
Sure.
going there. And it's funny because I still go to that church, and they still bring the ladies from that treatment center to that church, and I help
That's
on
awesome.
Sunday mornings. So
That's really
it's pretty
sweet.
cool. But
West
so,
County.
No, St. Peter's.
First
First Assembly. It's right off of Highway 70 before you get to Mid Rivers Mall Drive. You could see it from the highway.
St.
It's in
Peter's.
between
That's-
the
yeah, I always call that
It's
West
in
County,
between
sorry.
the car dealerships there.
Is that a faux pas?
West County.
What's that?
Call it
St.
St.
Peter's?
Peter's, West County.
Yeah, that's a
And
big
it doesn't
faux
bother
pas.
me. I mean, it's
I
Yeah, it's a big
giggled.
faux
it's
pas.
west. It's
You're west of
you're
the
along.
It's
river.
west. It's west of here.
Um,
I don't know shit.
well, no wonder why you like high school was. You were.
I'd have
just-
dropped out
yeah.
probably too.
Yeah, there was no like it was, and my grandpa did like my room was in the basement. Like we'd go in and out. We would do whatever. And I remember my younger sister used to hold. I would come home so wasted, and she would hold my hair back when I would just be vomiting. into
Oh,
the trash
porcelain
can.
God, right?
No,
Oh,
this
the
trash
trash
can
can.
in the basement. I'm picturing
screaming.
it in my head right now. Or I would be like fall asleep with my cigarette. And she'd be like, "You're gonna burn the house down."
Oh,
bitch."
Screaming.
find a dollar for every
little
cigarette
sister,
burn.
No,
though.
one time I crawled in bed with my grandpa.
Nice.
And I
Snuggled.
did. And he's like, his face like, what are you doing? I'm like, sorry, Grandpa.
now that might be the title of this one.
But that's sweet. Your grandpa used to.
No, it was. I was wasted, and then I went. So they had the old kind of sliding closet, like that closet there, sliding doors, but it was it was long, that whole wall. And I went in there and thought I was in the bathroom
Uh oh.
and
Potty.
pissed right in his
Yeah.
shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woke up on that. Grandpa was,
He'll need a shoe shine.
yeah.
Yeah.
Get your shine box.
So big drinker.
Drinking was the start of it all. Like
I can
said.
smell the SoCo in that trash can.
Oh yeah, the SoCo.
God.
Yes, SoCo all the way.
Fucking puked up
Man.
SoCo.
SoCo.
Southern Comfort.
Purple Passion.
Oh.
I puked
Boone's
the
Farm.
fuck out of SoCo. I'd smoked a blunt, chugged SoCo, and it was my first driving experience freshman year in high school. And I still to this day, even to the last drinking day, I would drink fucking rubbing alcohol before SoCo because of the
I drank
smell.
it so much. I drank so much SoCo.
Fucking, it's
like
making my stomach
Southern
literally
Comfort.
turn over right now.
God.
Yeah. He's like,
Sorry.
Kind of warm,
yeah,
little.
yeah, a lot warm.
So it was started with drinking.
Drinking, yeah, drinking, and then smoking weed, and then cocaine.
Yeah.
Yeah, cocaine. And my boyfriend supplied it, so it was easy.
Same boyfriend.
Different
same
skin
boyfriend.
suit.
Same boyfriend.
Oh,
same
same-
skin suit.
same skin
yeah,
suit.
I had that one for a while. Like, yeah, and they had, yeah. It was crazy. And so
Does
it was like
this-
unsurroundable supply of cocaine. Like they would go out and he would leave me at home, and I'm like, hey, he would leave me an 8-ball, and I'm like, hey, my cocaine's gone, come back. Like I
Yeah.
didn't care.
You better
Like
leave
if
me
they
another
weren't there, I
8-ball.
didn't care. Yeah.
Let me ask you. I'm not a clinician. Would you?
In case
Disclaimer.
you were
Yeah,
like
disclaimer.
concerned or
Did your
confused.
does your dad check that box of the skin suit?
No, it's weird. It's so weird, I think, because so my dad, like I said, I never knew like my dad from born to 12 years old. He would drink a 6-pack
Yeah,
at
but
night
it
and go to
wasn't-
work. But it was never. He was very
He was
nice to
stable.
my
He was
mom.
stable, yeah.
He was, he worked hard.
As far as
He
you knew, it was fine.
took us out to dinner on Friday nights
Mm-hmm.
when payday came. Pizza Hut, here we come. But he was not. He was, but. In retrospect, my mom was kind of the POS, I think, of it all. But
My
my dad,
yeah, certainly
so my
tracks.
dad, but when all this blows up, then I find out, I didn't know my dad was married before my mom. And my dad was a bad alcoholic then. And when they went through a divorce, they lived in Ferguson, I think, and had a house in
wow.
Ferguson, and he fucking spray painted the walls and ripped all the shit out of the
shit.
wall. Like my grandpa had been through this with my dad, because that's when this now happened with my mom, and then here he goes off the rails, and my dad went off the rails. Like he was so embarrassing to me. He would pull up at the bus stop. He got hit on South Broadway getting on 55, T-boned in a
Just shit.
Toyota Corolla. He was shit-faced, but he got T-boned. And the car was so smashed in that the whole passenger side was pushed over to the driver's side, but he could still drive it. So he drove it off the accident, tied Bart Simpson to the fucking hood of it, and pulls up at my bus stop playing, "You can't touch this." Dude,
Get the fuck
and they're
outta
like, "Here
here.
comes Angie's dad." And I'm like, "Here comes
Listen.
Angie's dad.
I'm not trying to celebrate some bad behavior here, but there's times of your old man's story that I wish I was right there for. The fucking Florida maxed
Yeah.
out credit card at the casinos,
Oh, he
and the
maxed
strip
them all
club. So
out,
you
yeah.
said, "Yep."
Yeah.
Been
And
there.
so, and he, so then he was back in his alcoholism. You know what I
Sure.
mean? But my dad, I love my dad.
You can recognize that now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love my dad. Like,
But that's it is funny you say that about your mom may have been the
Yeah, I
swimsuit
think-
situation.
yes.
Yeah, and that
Yeah.
I mean,
And it makes sense, like the person that you idolized growing up. Like it sounded like you and your mom were a lot
Yeah.
closer. That was like your relationship baseline for like, what am I looking for?
You sure you're not a closer, guys? This
well,
is a
she's
good
closer to
therapy
one than I
session.
am. She's
Thank you,
she's an
Angie.
she's an MSW, so
Okay.
and intern for my wife who's a clinician. So those two go to work
Nice,
on
no,
me
but that makes sense.
daily.
I never kind of put that together.
I think I've also never thought of the mom being that.
Yeah, I was
position.
going all
I'm
Denny on her.
Yeah.
You probably picked that up.
A little bit, yeah.
Some of us, yeah. Never mind.
Yeah.
Back to you, Angie. So how old were you when you were just kind of at an unlimited supply of Coke?
So 17.
So that's- I mean,
That's old enough to get kind of.
Yeah, 17. So I was with that boyfriend from 14, 15, 16, 17. I was with,
And he was the
I was
dealer.
with Marty till 19. I think.
Okay.
Some pretty formative years,
Same
drugs
same
or not.
one, same guy, but he was always with other girls, and like he was the dope man. So
It's just business. It wasn't personal.
Well, it was. I was just a fucking idiot. But at that point, I didn't care about anything but the dope.
You were
And
getting
I remember one point, a girlfriend of mine hadn't seen me in a long time, and she was like, "Oh my," she's like, "Come on!" Like we were staying at his sister's house.
Were you
or
skin and
something.
bones?
She was like, "Come with me. We're going to Walmart, whatever." And I got on the scale. I weighed 69 pounds.
The
Damn
fuck outta
it!
here.
At
what age?
17.
17.
Yeah. And I was this. I was
Wow.
5'6". So
Would you-
at 69 pounds. Right now, I weigh about 150.
I
Let
think
me
I
ask you
weighed
this.
69 pounds like when I was.
I was in bad shape.
Second grade when
Probably,
they told
yeah.
you that you didn't have
Yeah.
that you had cankles.
When you say dope, is that coke?
Just cocaine.
Okay.
Yeah, snorting it. Then
Gotcha.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
let me ask you this. In your role now, we'll jump around, but you're a director of admissions. If you met a young lady at that age, would you consider disordered eating as a co-occurring? Were you eating back then, or
Well, I was always coked up.
Right,
So,
so-
I don't know if it would be. I mean, I guess eating disorder would be a part of it. 'Cause
Which
you're
is
not eating, but yeah.
she's got a small bladder?
It was just
Oh, it's her
SoCo and cocaine. That was my diet.
Sure. So
You know.
and I bring that up because really until like hearing you guys and hearing some stories here on, and I think it hits females worse. I mean, I know it does. If somebody comes here and they have a severe eating disorder, in addition to the addiction problem, that comes to you and the clinical team first. But I've this once we can detox, but then if somebody's so sick from an eating disorder, it's
We might have to.
Yeah,
pass them
because
on.
it-
if you can get them detox and I would say we've had several that have come in. Like we kind of have an eating disorder protocol type thing, but
Sure.
we say like if you're active, then you probably have to go out. But detoxing first,
And
and a lot
that's-
of them have got through the detox process. And then getting here, and then their head's getting right, and they're
And they
getting
start
healthy, and then
eating,
they start
yeah.
eating, and then it
so you're
turns out
able
okay.
through the detox. Is this not eating because you're just
Messed up all the
eating
time.
fucking Adderall by the pounds, or snorting coke, or doing meth?
Right, or do you really have
Yeah.
an eating disorder? So that's why that's the chicken or the egg type
Sure.
thing. So
And it's
you don't know.
and we talk about it often, and you've been around the conversation, Kurt, enough to know it. It's a very difficult illness. Like it's hard, I've heard, and there's not as many resources for folks that really struggle. There's some similarities to, I think, like substance use, SUD, and alcoholism, but at the end of the day, it's very, very
Different.
dangerous
Yeah,
too.
yeah, very dangerous.
So 69 pounds. That's
Yeah,
fucking
but that was
alarming.
just from
Right.
so that scared
You
me
never
enough
consider
to where I
yourself
was
to
like,
have a eating
no,
disorder?
No. When I seen that number on the scale, I was kind of like, oh crap, I need
Really?
to go move back to Grandpa's. So I did. I moved back to Grandpa's. I stopped using so much cocaine. I continued drinking. 18, 19, 20-ish, I guess. Then me and Marty split up, and I don't remember what happened. Met another guy that kind of wasn't
ilk?
as bad as like selling, but also did sell, and so that the party and just. But I got better. I gained weight. I was eating. I was back living at Grandpa's house. But I was young. Like I wasn't even 20. You know,
Sure.
I wasn't. You know, even. I don't.
Do you feel you were addicted to coke at this point?
At that time, I would have been like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just doing my thing. You know, I remember at 21 or 22, someone was like that, saying you got to. Well, I had a DWI or something. My boyfriend at the time's like, you need to stop going. He had an ankle monitor on. He's like, you need to stop going out. And then I go, you just are jealous because you can't go out.
Because you can't leave
too."
the house, mother.
And I'm like, I'm young. I have a good job. I don't have any kids. Like I'm just doing what people
Work.
do.
I go to
And
work.
then
Were
I
you
go to
working?
work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I work. Yeah, I got a job.
That's always our justification on
Yeah.
why we, especially in that industry, the bar restaurant industry.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, as long as I work my 4 to midnight, I can get as fucked up
Yep,
after
as I
work.
want. Oh, I would even go if I had to work in the morning. Like, so my first job was at the movie theater, and then my second job was at the Arch. I was the usher at the Arch for a while, and
That's
then I got
symbolic.
into and then I got into restaurant business. And then once I did that, it was like, well, yeah, I'm working. I always had a job. Like I
Sure.
was always working up until I wasn't anymore.
Other than the DWI, did you ever find yourself in any legal issues because of using or the people you were around?
Several DWIs.
Okay.
But that's it. Thank God. Thank God. I just missed an indictment on
I
a
was gonna ask
conspiracy
you.
charge that was pretty heavy. Like it was pretty heavy.
How can you talk about that?
Yeah. So, God, I'm trying to think of what year it was. The years are blurry, but
It's
not
funny in
too long
Missouri,
ago.
Missourians call it DWIs. It's always DWIs.
DUIs,
yeah.
yeah.
I was wondering.
So I just
What's the
hung,
legal
hung
difference in a
One's
U
a
and a W?
driving while under the influence and while intoxicated. So
I
it's
think it's
usually
the same-
drugs and alcohol. I
Yeah.
think.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that's the difference between the two.
I also think that in Illinois there is no DWI. I think
Like
it's just
D-dubs.
just
You got them
DUI.
D-dubs. Yeah.
yeah. We just call it DWIs.
I call them D-dubs over
Yeah,
here.
when you're around
I'm
enough people that
screaming.
rack them up like fucking baseball cards. Yeah. And it's not. We don't mean to make. I mean, it's not okay. It's
And it is amazing. You hear stories, and you talked about your dad when he was wasted in Florida. They didn't take him to jail.
No.
They towed the car. And you
yeah.
hear stories about people back in the old days. The cops would drive you home.
Oh yeah. Well, he was staying with me once I moved out to Arnold. Several years later, I had my own apartment, and they drove him home. They drove him to my house, and they're like, I go, we literally just got into a fight. I'm like, you need to take him to jail, and they're like, Joe, are you gonna go upstairs and leave her alone? Like, not physical fight, but he was being
Got
real
it.
ignorant to
Yeah.
me. They're like, Joe, you just need to go upstairs, and I'm thinking, if this was me, this motherfucker would have locked me up, because every time I got pulled over,
would've locked me up.
because they're like, if
So
you're in
funny.
the city, you're gonna be fine. I'm like, every time I've been pulled over, I've been arrested. Like, I never got away with the like, oh, you're so pretty.
Right,
No,
right.
Arrested. They're like, you're the prettiest girl we arrested this week. I'm like,
screaming.
thanks, motherfucker.
You're welcome.
But I always went to jail.
how about
But
I'm
I
the
always
prettiest
did-
girl?
yeah.
You let go this
Right.
week.
No, I did never get away.
The way
I
you're
was,
giggling, you were like, but then I went to jail.
I went to jail. Fucking fuck.
Man,
But
you
yeah,
were the
no, the only
chosen
legal
one.
trouble I ever got into was DWIs, which got me a revoked license, which then I did spend about 60 days in county jail for that.
60.
11 driving while revokes. When they finally picked me up, I had 11 driving while revokes.
That's what gets a lot of people is they don't stop driving when they lose their license.
no, you
and,
can't. What are you gonna get? What are you
shit
gonna
to
do? I got shit to places
She
to
got a
be.
job.
This is,
I
it's
got
fucking-
coke to pick up. I got
Right.
places to be. But no, that was the only trouble. Then the longest stint I spent in jail was that.
What was so stay clean during those 60 days?
Yeah. Yeah, it was. People were.
Were you
And
scared?
they're like, "What are you doing? You bopping around here like you're in school?" I'm like, "Well, we can't do anything."
no shit.
I went to
Like,
like,
I'm
a
making
GED class,
friends.
AA meetings. I was like,
You're kind of
yeah.
an extrovert. Sure.
I got a job working for the food line so
Yeah.
I could get some extra food because you starve in there, man.
days
Feels
go
like you're
by
dying.
slow if you ain't doing shit.
Yeah, and I was cool.
Was this all women or is
Yeah.
this okay?
Clayton, St. Louis County.
Not sure they have a co-ed
Yeah,
situation.
I wouldn't think
They
so,
do in
but-
holding. Because me
Oh.
and my husband, got arrested together
screaming.
in the holding in St. Louis County is co-ed.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's not safe.
No, it was weird.
She said not safe. Was
Not
weird.
safe. Was weird.
I got arrested with I got arrested with this is Jen Conley once, and we were in different cells, and I was getting my fucking ass beat by this guy, and she was being kind and screaming, "They're beating his ass, leave him alone." And then she was in with another gal, and that gal was a bigger gal, but at that Jen had a temper, and I think she was like, "I don't give a she was talking so much shit. We missed White Castles by about an hour. We were so pissed. Dave Matthews concert.
I hear things about them Dave Matthews concerts.
I've never gone to a concert of a report since. What happened to the conspiracy shit?
Oh, so I got I got pregnant. We're fast forwarding pretty far in the head, but I got pregnant, and the whole way of finding out was stupid. Anyway, but fast forward, now we're into methamphetamine. So now my boyfriends are like cooking methamphetamines and like hanging around with like bikers and like doing like fucked up shit, and then kind of dumped that one and got another one that was kind of not good either. But when I got pregnant and then I had my daughter, I hate to say, but I didn't get to take her home from the hospital. Yeah. Okay, so then I was like, they were like, okay, this is what you got to do. Da, 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 da. So then I go to treatment, move into sober living, and this big, huge indictment comes down where they got like 25 pounds of methamphetamines and all this, and a bunch of people I know like got picked up and went to the feds, and like I read the indictment and I'm like, holy fuck. Like there was 2 situations that happened in my life that I was
Where
like,
you
and they go, they
could've-
probably think I'm a rat.
Really?
Yeah, it was pretty scary. And one of my girlfriends got I think she did 5 years for just making a phone call in this big conspiracy thing. But she would tell you, like, that's the best thing that ever happened to her. I ended up getting her a job at the other place, and she still works there.
Oh, no
and she's
shit.
doing great. Like, but when she got out of the feds, she was kind of like, I don't know what to do. And I was like, hey, come try working in the field. And she's like, I would have never got sober. I would have never stopped. Like, she got, you know,
She'd be
clean and
dead.
sober, and things went great. But yeah, it was scary.
Take us from cocaine to graduating to meth.
So I met somebody, motorcycle guy, and he was doing that, you know, doing meth. And I was like, I'm cool. I got my rum and I got my Coke. Like, I don't want any of that. Like, and he was like, yeah, don't do it. Like, don't do it. But everywhere we're around, they're doing it. And
Where was it? Like, are you going to bars? Or are you going to clubhouses?
Yeah, going to bars, going to clubhouses. Yeah. The first time I
What's a
tried,
clubhouse?
like motorcycle clubs have like clubhouses, which are like, how do you describe a clubhouse? It's where it's kind of like a bar, but it's private. Only people that are in the motorcycle they don't say gang.
Colors, like so
Whoever
they wear
wear
colors. Yeah.
like, have you ever seen Sons of Anarchy?
No.
No, but my dad was in a biker gang.
Okay,
A Christian biker gang.
okay. I know them of something for Jesus. What are Riders for Jesus?
Yeah, I
That's
don't-
Something like that.
These are different types.
Yeah,
of
it's a
That's
different
all
kind of yeah.
That's the closest.
So it's
I
hard
could
to explain a
understand.
clubhouse, but that's
But
the
it was-
first time I tried it.
Think like an old fucking warehouse that has a one-way door that you have to be along.
You go in and it's like a
to.
bar on the first level. They might have food there. There's upstairs. There's usually rooms like in apartments.
Oh.
And like you can only go there if you're part of this elite club, the biker club.
What's the real notable biker bar up in North City? I think it's like a little bit north, like Lumiere.
Oh yeah, right. Shady Jacks or something.
Yeah, Shady Jacks, yeah.
Oh.
Their owners. I used to
And you-
10 bar in Collinsville. And their owners used to come in and that,
Is that the kind of place where you
That's
go
open to the
clubhouse?
public.
Okay.
Well,
yeah.
they're actually next door to Shady Jacks. I think there was a clubhouse, but each motorcycle group has their own.
Interesting.
it's like an Elks Lodge,
Yes,
that's
but
but
not,
what I-
yes, there you go.
not my grandma and grandpa. These are you got to like the commonality is bikers, and usually, so at Fridays, the tavern I grew up at down the street had a sign on the front door there since the 70s that said dress code strictly enforced. No colors.
Which is your
That
which is your
became-
vest that has the logo of your motorcycle.
People thought it said something different, and it became a big story in the Belleville News Democrat about the bar being racist. It had nothing to do with racism. It did not say what they said it said, and it said no colors because there was a ton of biker gangs fucking warring with each other in Belleville in the 70s and 80s. It was a big deal.
You mentioned Arnold, and I grew up in Jefferson County, like in the Arnold
Can't you
Imperial
tell?
area.
I'm
And there was a pasty bar, I guess you would call it, called Club Imperial. And we tried to sneak in when we were 17.
I remember that club.
We got up to the door, and I remember there was a sign on the door that said "No colors allowed." And I thought for years, I'm like, man, I knew we were racist, but I didn't know we were that
racist.
like openly racist. And now looking back on it, well, we are racist out there. Maybe it was a motorcycle
colors.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, both things can be true here. It was definitely that's the phrase "no colors" references the colors on the back of the motorcycle vest.
If it was a race
no
thing, it
idea.
would have the letter, like, would it have the letter
yeah.
D on it?
ED, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now
You would think.
Yeah.
Now, I will tell you, there are people in Southern Illinois and Missouri that will believe it means something else and try to stand by it because they
Will
are
make it
absolutely
mean
racist.
something
Right.
else.
Yeah.
Like we said, both can be true, but that is it's a big deal.
That's so interesting. I've never heard of that.
I mean, I remember my old man. He got a Harley. He loved to ride, and he went up to the loading dock or something, and he always refereed ice hockey his whole
Okay.
life. We grew up on the ice, and the Missouri Ice Hockey Officials Association is MIHOA, MIHOA, and the T-shirts and the logo for this funny shirt was 3 blind mice. Get
Okay.
it? They would always play when the referees would come on the ice. It used to be three
blind mice.
3 blind mice, 3, and then that would they play the
See
song.
how we run. Yeah.
So implying the referees are blind, and the mice were in zebra, referee jerseys. Well, he was at this biker bar, and some guy came up to him and like, "Hey, are you with the rats?" My old man's like, "What?" He's like, "Your shirt there. Are you with the rats?" the rats out of South Georgia? He's like, fuck no, I'm not with the rats. These are mice. I'm an ice hockey official. He
It's
goes,
mice.
that's good because I was going to kill you if you were with the rats.
Screaming.
Wow.
My
Yeah.
dad looked at this guy like, you can kill shit, bitch. But get the I'm serious. It's wild. And it's people,
Yeah.
want to fight and stab and
And all kinds of things. Well, that's the first time I tried methamphetamine. It was ice. I used to do coke. Like I said, leave me
Sure.
an 8-ball, and I'm like, where's my coke, right? Little bitty line. And I was like, okay, fuck it, do it.
you snorted
3
it?
days later, I'm like, when is this going to wear off? I'm like, my sister's going to know something's going on. I don't know when this is going to wear off. And then right then it was like, okay, the coke is irrelevant at this point.
Right,
Because I
yeah.
could do much less and get much higher, and it will last
30
longer.
minutes
Wait,
is a lot
3
shorter than
days?
3 days.
Yeah, I mean, and that didn't last
Whoa.
long.
No,
I mean,
it's-
that didn't last long because then I'm just doing it too much and you become immune. But
Speaking of ice heads,
Goldberg.
that he wrecked his life on the Goldberg from the Mighty Ducks.
Yeah,
We had
yeah.
him on the podcast. He ended up homeless because he got a bad meth addiction. He was on
Yeah.
somebody's podcast. He said, "They go, you've lost a lot of weight. What diet were you on?" He goes, "Crystal meth."
yeah,
I'm screaming.
on the crystal meth diet.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wait, okay, so maybe a dumb question, but don't care. Crystal meth is ice.
There's two. It's kind of different. It's different. I mean, it's hard to explain. So
This would be good for the text inbox.
it's kind of hard to explain. I don't even know if I would explain it correctly. So there is crystal meth, which is usually like made out of chemicals, right? And
The stuff
ice
that
is
people
also
used to cook.
you could call it cooking dope, right? Then there's ice that usually comes from like Mexico that it's made out of like you let it sit out. It's like it's hard to explain what it is because I don't really know the process of how it's created, but it's like it's also lab made, but it's kind of a different thing, but they're under the same umbrella. Like if you say
Freebasing?
opioids,
That's how you use it.
you would say like opioids, you would say like Percocet
Right.
or Oxys or fentanyl or what. So it's under that umbrella. But ice is usually looks a little bit different. It looks like little pieces of glass.
Whoa.
When usually methamphetamines, well, it used to be pink or yellow or white like cocaine.
Whoa.
What was
It's ma-
Walter
the way that
White
it's made
doing?
different. He was cooking dope. So in Breaking Bad,
Yeah.
I never watched it
I've
because
never
it's
seen
just
it either.
Too close to home. I tell you, the days of like cooking and masking the trailer with a daycare so people wouldn't raid it are long gone. Like cooking, and there might be some.
Well, now
labs
you
in the
do.
woods.
Now it's so you can in that water bottle right there. I can make you some dope.
It's all that. Oh, yes, or it's all just made
Bathroom
in a lab.
crank.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Wow.
but
Apparently,
which-
it's like a lot of it's flooding up from like it's being imported.
So they used to, in the big, they started really cracking down on the meth labs is because they were blowing up fucking daycares because it was cooking with ether and shit. And
anhydrous.
Yeah.
That's what a house 2 streets away, this lady had a daycare from my mom's daycare, and all the kids from that daycare had to go to my mom's daycare because they blew their house up.
And they would be a front
Yeah.
because of the cops wouldn't raid it anyway.
That's horrible.
Yeah, and I mean there was people would cook in the woods in the back of like trunks of their car, mobile meth labs. It's in,
Yeah, all that.
that's
One
why
time,
you
one time.
you can't get
I'm gonna
pseudoephedrine
tell
from
this
fucking
story.
Walgreens anymore.
I got
without a rectal exam.
caught at Walgreens one time buying some pills too. But
So
we were
you're the
going
reason
down, yeah.
I got to get the fucking anal
No, I had
probe
to have the ID and I
to get some fucking
anyway.
a leave with pseudoephedrine in it.
Thanks, Angie.
Yeah, thanks for pinning on me.
Can't get another one for 10 days, they said.
Yeah, 10 days. You're on the list. You're on the list now, Chris.
Got a sinus infection. Fuck.
I'm screaming.
Yeah, you got to show ID for
Those
NyQuil
will
now
leave-
too for that sipping on some scissor,
right.
right? So
I'm screaming.
Listen, those
Sipping
will
on
leave
some
with
scissor.
those will leave with pseudoephedrine are they cure sinus infection.
yeah, they will.
Absolutely.
Do some other things.
Whoa.
But no, it
rock
was
hard.
it was that was the transition right
Sorry.
then. I remember doing that and like it began to switch. Like no more Coke. Fuck that Coke. Like
Yeah.
and that was ice at the time we tried it, but then the guy that I was with knew how to manufacture it, so it was,
So that you were hooked.
Whoa.
yeah.
How long did you stay in that cycle? Just running with bikers and shit?
Yeah, for a little.
Were you wearing a vest?
No, I wouldn't.
Good for you.
Yeah, I wouldn't wear one.
You-
And they
you-
didn't like me because they were like, "Who is this
Yeah.
And you said me walking outside, they would be like, "Look at her walking around the bar."
If you
like,
were a
blah,
meth
blah,
head, that would be you, Zoe.
And-
You'd be
What?
like you'd still be like,
blah. Not wearing that
yeah,
vest.
I'm not.
Yeah,
because
fuck that.
A lot of these girls will wear a vest and they'll say
Now you're property of.
it'll be
so-and-so.
property of
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
bike.
Zoe,
wish.
you don't strike me as a vest girl.
Yeah.
So you
No.
and Angie, if you got hooked on crystal meth, they'd still be like, "Who is this bitch?"
Yeah. Well, they would. Because I was friends with
I
like.
said, don't you wish you fucking knew?
Yeah.
Not property of
Right.
nothing.
Right,
Property of Jesus.
Right. Well,
Right,
that's-
yeah.
I'm surprised I didn't get my ass hurt. I mean, because I was like, I'm not fucking.
Sounds
around.
like you
I
were,
remember
like,
one time
kinda
we were
protected.
rolling down 44 and Grand, and we're all riding in like a pack, and we were joking around. I turn around and I'm like, and when we got to we were going, they were like, "Don't ever fucking do that, Angie. You flipped off," like, because people see me, you know. But I was like, "Oh, fuck that shit.
You don't-
I
yeah,
don't
fuck
give a
that
fuck.
shit.
I don't give a
care.
fuck."
I spent 60 days in jail and I made friends with everybody.
Right. I was bad. I'm surprised
love
I didn't. I was in so.
Did you ride
messed up.
or were you a tandem rider? Did you actually ride?
No, I was a tandem rider. Yeah.
with your boyfriend.
Yeah.
Or?
What
Was
was
he
it
pretty
about
high up?
him? Oh,
It's weird because he was a probate, which is like you're trying to get in, but he was also the person that like put together all the events and like the part, like everywhere he was at, everybody wanted to be where he was at, and so
It was Holden.
then he got in trouble. You know, it was a crazy situation. Like it was just crazy.
Ask your question.
what was it about him? Or like these guys, like what would like pull you in?
I actually met when I met him, I had 2 black eyes, like horrible. Like the guy that I was with at the time
I was afraid you were going to say that.
was a tattoo artist, and well, it was like, this is crazy. So we get fucked up all the time, you know. And one day, like we both came to, and the house was tore to shit. Like the house was fucked up. He was all
Couple
fucked
days.
up. I was fucking all fucked up. Eyes black. He's bloody.
You don't
and
know what
this-
happened?
And neither one of us know. Like we're like looking around at his mom's house. By the way, she's
Beautiful.
out of town because we don't have a fucking house. And look around, and everything is just fucking
Whoa.
wasted. And so I just looked at him and I said, "I'm getting my stuff and I'm leaving. Like, just don't come after me." And he's like, "Okay." And I just put all my stuff in
Whoa.
the basket
the
and
best
walked
breakup
outside
ever.
Yeah.
and called my sister, and she picked me up, and she's like, "Holy fuck, what happened?" I was like, I
You know
was
what's
fucked
gotten
up.
bad when you both are like, "I'm going left, you
go right.
done,
Just done.
And it'd be
Right.
like, okay.
So then that night, a friend of mine called me, and he's like, "This new bar is opening up down on South Broadway. Like, you should come down." I said, "I can't." I'm like, "Who cares? Put on some sunglasses and come down there." Fuck it. So I
Right.
did. I was
Fuck it.
fuck it. So I go, and then
Fit
we're
right
there,
in the
and
bar
then
on
we get
South
invited
Broadway.
to a clubhouse. And when we're at the clubhouse, I meet him there, and they're like, "She's outside with 2 black eyes. What's she doing out there with 2 black guys?" No, 2 black eyes.
Black eyes,
screaming.
Black eyes, right?
and then, but like you saw him
And
and
then,
he's
like-
like sweeping you off your feet or
No,
what?
not really. Like I met him, and he actually had a girl with him at the bar. And then a couple of days later,
Did
he
she
like
have
called me.
Did she have property of?
She did. Yeah, she had property of on. And then
Not
he's
for
like,
very
"No."
long.
He's like,
I'm getting Ashley a vest.
"Yeah, say,
Stop.
property of Pondoff."
POP.
Do not give him
Property
any
of Pondoff.
Oh my God.
You for Halloween, you guys.
You
could
down with
be a biker
POP?
couple and-
She wouldn't do it. There's no fucking way.
Yeah, talk about I'm not wearing the
And
vest.
talk about property of Jesus. See, like, I told her I was her shepherd once, and she said, "Jesus is my shepherd. Don't ever say that to me again."
Oh, you down with POP? Property of Pondoff?
God, Angie.
I'll wear the vest.
Thank you. Thank you.
Somebody wear the best.
Take your
please.
pocket out. I'll just grab your pocket and follow you around.
But no, it wasn't like, yeah, it wasn't like sweep me off my feet. A little bit of time went by, and he's like, "Hey, you want to go for a ride?" And I was like, my ex-boyfriend rode street bikes, so I was like, "I don't want to ride no putting around ass Harley. Like, we're going 100 miles an hour on street bikes."
And he was like, "This is my
And then,
dream woman."
and
Crotch
then-
rockets,
and then-
man.
Yeah, we did that. And then the first time I rode the Harley with him, like he was popping wheelies and shit. It was fun. It was fun. And I was like,
Then
just
you
been
did-
traumatized. It just been,
Yeah.
Then you're like,
And
oh,
he-
those crotch rockets are pussy
Yeah,
shit.
yeah, pretty much. So
Harleys.
I remember we pulled up next to the cops one time. And we're like, "You, gone."
They're not nowadays. They have
gonna chase you.
They're not supposed to chase at all.
Yeah.
like that's a whole. My
Cops?
buddy's ATF now, but he was one of my best friends was St. Louis County, and they said it's too dangerous. So that's why these crotch rockets usually you'll see them go 100, 220 miles an hour down the highway doing crazy shit. and you're like, why don't somebody pull them over? They're not supposed to chase them.
How can you? Yeah,
And
they're
you
not
gonna
gonna
keep
keep
can't.
cars,
Yeah.
and you can't.
And
yeah.
all you do is end up making it way more unsafe on the highway. So you just got to let them be idiots. And
One time we were running
usually
from
karma
the police.
catches up.
Yeah, I remember we came off Butler Hill Road and went down in the Schnucks parking lot and then they were gone.
Nice.
Wait, whoa. Kind of like,
It's taking me down memory lane.
I know, dude.
Wow.
Angie,
Still
you're
get,
like
like, a
fucking
little-
road runner.
I just keep on going.
like a little rush, like when you think about it. Like, do you still get nervous a
yeah,
little? Like,
yeah. Well, it's almost like, what? Did that really happen?
Right,
I think,
right.
like, did this shit really happen? Yes, it fucking did.
What what colors? Like, what do you remember? What was the name of this club?
I
Do you
can't.
know?
I won't say.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I won't say.
Actually, I'm glad you did.
Yeah, I won't say that.
are you with the feds?
No names. Yeah. Okay.
No,
fuck?
no.
Let me pat you down, Chris.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Are you with the feds?
There's nothing in here recording.
Yeah. No. No recording device. No, I won't say that.
No, that's good. I
Yeah.
appreciate that. I was.
That's so funny. Chris so nosy.
Well, I'm fucking hard-hitting.
Trying to get me
journalist.
killed, Chris.
Right, what the
Gotta ask
fuck?
you
Two more black eyes. What?
You know,
Jesus.
the media.
Other podcasters
Jesus.
would have been scared to ask that.
Thank you. The media in this
Right,
town
makes
is
you
soft.
different.
Makes you different.
Was this guy you met the father of the child you were talking
No.
about? Okay.
No.
Take us through your hair on fire to that situation.
So that relationship was just crazy town. And then I almost couldn't get away. It's just so you asked about if guys were a problem. It wasn't like multiple guys were a problem, but the guys were a problem. It was toxicity,
Sure.
right? Because at
Something
one point,
addicting to about
talking
it.
about like cooking, blowing up houses and shit. He ended up renting. We knew each other for like a month, and he's like, "I got us a house." And I'm like,
Nice.
"Okay, great."
Oh,
So we pull up this cute
Jesus.
little house down off South Grand, like it was cute as And we're moving in and all this garage and all this and parties all the time. But anyway, he had kids, and I was cooking. The kids were over at our house for the weekend. And I was cooking macaroni in the kitchen, and I could see the garage from the window, and I knew what they were doing in the garage. And I had like this moment of like clarity, like, what the fuck am I doing? Like these kids, I'm
You're, like, taking
cooking
care
these
of these
kids
kids.
dinner, and they're
That
cooking
is
dope in the garage.
such a juxtaposition. Like your Kraft mac and cheese stirring up, and they're in there doing that.
and I remember
like there's nothing
thinking,
more family and like
yeah.
cooking a meal for
Yeah.
kiddos than
And
that
these
mac
kids
and
are here,
cheese.
yeah. And I'm like, this is not right. Like I need to go to treatment, and I did.
No
I
shit.
went to treatment.
Talking about
and,
come to Jesus moment.
Yeah, I mean, I went to treatment, but
Little
then I went right.
CTJ.
I went
Yeah.
right back.
How long were you in?
I think at that time is when I went to the one here in Caseyville.
Oh, at Gateway. How
Mm-hmm.
many times have you been to treatment?
5, I think. 5, yeah.
Was that number one?
No, that was number 2, I think. 2 or 3.
So you knew the game.
Yeah, I was just like, this is not, but then I went back. And then,
Well,
Because
well, actually, when I was in Caseyville, in that treatment center, was at Gateway, the little girl who I still have a relationship with and her dad come to see me in treatment, and he's fucked up. And I'm like, this motherfucker, he's high. And then I take her to the restroom, and she's like, oh, Dad's got some girl staying at the house, sleeping in your bed, like wearing your clothes.
Oh.
And, like, I was like, this motherfucker. So I go back out to the waiting room, and he's like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, nothing, eat a fucking Twizzler, and hand him a Twizzler. And then they leave, and I go see my counselor, and she's like, you need to stop. She's like,
Why'd
you
you
need
hand
to
him a
stop.
Twizzler? What does that mean?
I had just got some
Oh, okay,
Twizzlers. I was just
okay.
like, eat a fucking Twizzler. Like, bought some Twizzlers.
would
out of
you?
thing.
Would old Angie like fucking fight a bitch? Or,
Yeah.
all right.
Well, him. I would have punched him
All right.
dead in his fucking
Good. He
mouth.
deserved it. Yeah. For sure.
And the counselor's like, you need to. She's like, your head is spinning. If you even say
Mm-hmm.
his name, your head is spinning. You cannot go back there. So that was my first introduction to sober living.
Did you listen? So you always.
She's like, you need to go. You need to. This is what you can do. These are your options. Sober living. I was like, okay. She's like, take him off. Get no more release of information. Get rid of that ROI. He can't call you. Can't come visit.
How many times today are you telling? I mean, I just can hear you telling people you don't need them on ROI. Like that's
Yeah.
such. Like and
It's like a lot.
it's a thing, man.
Yeah,
What?
today we had someone come in and she was telling me something, and then I go, "Well, is that your husband? You just said was not good." And she's like, "No." And I said, "Okay, good, because we don't want to get a ROI for him."
Right, like so the really people will. I got to talk to my boyfriend in treatment, and
But he's still getting high.
yeah, and so they want him on the ROI, which means we have to talk to him at IRC. Like if they're going to release information, for the most part, they can. And
Call
it's
and
like
ask
we're
questions.
trying to That's part of the problem.
And that was a big problem for me because I was like, okay, I knew what to do to get sober, right? But I didn't know what to do after that. Like I could go and like, so I did. I went to sober living, and they're like, "Oh, great, you're accepted into this Oxford house, and guess where it's at? It's on Iowa, right next door to my grade school that was closed down, right down the street from where I grew up, right down the, you know." So moved into there, and I was doing really well. I got a get well job at IHOP, and I was doing really good, and I wasn't concerned about him or anything. And then I came home one day from work, and I was looking in the mirror, and my eyes were yellow. My eyes were yellow, and I was like, "What the fuck is wrong with my eyes?" And my sister came over to see me, and she's like, we went outside, and she's like, "Holy shit, what is wrong with your?" I go, "I don't know." She's like, "Maybe you should go to the hospital." So I walk up to Election Brothers Hospital, check myself in. They run some tests, and they're like, "Can't figure out, nothing's wrong." So they send me back. The next day, I woke up, and I looked like I was 5 months pregnant, and I couldn't get up out of bed, and I was like, "What the fuck?" So I went to a different St. Clair hospital, and now I was in liver failure. I have cirrhosis. So I was in the hospital for 3 months. They sent me from St. Clair Hospital
you were
to
sober?
Barnes. Yeah, I was 5 months sober.
That's wild.
5 months sober when that happened, and I was so pissed.
So this was St.
I would've
Alexius
been
that
so
you.
mad.
they
I went
got-
to St. Alexis first,
Right.
and they wouldn't. They let me go.
They missed it.
Yeah, they missed it, and then I went to St. Clair and Fenton.
What year was that? Because it was Lutheran, and then it was St. Alexis, and then it was South City Hospital. My mom was there.
Oh well, it was Election Brothers when I was growing up. Lutheran used to be down the road a little.
Luther's
That's where I
down-
was
yeah.
born,
Okay.
Lutheran Hospital. But
Sister Brooke was
Election
born.
Brothers is actually opening up to a mental health facility right now. I think Jake Donovan was telling me about that.
Okay.
Now it's not a hospital anymore, but it's been changed around. But it was St. Alexis Election.
Was it South City Hospital?
I don't know.
The last.
It might have been the last time
Yeah.
when it changed. Yeah.
Okay.
But they missed it, and then so I was they transferred me to Barnes because the specialist there
Yeah.
and everything, and then they want to put me on the transplant list, and then they at Barnes they have like practicum students coming in, they're like learning, so they're all surrounding me and like
You're like
wanting to,
a
like-
museum.
You were a
yeah,
case.
yeah, and I was
Doesn't
so
feel
sick,
great.
and I remember like, Lord God, please, Lord, please save me from this. Like I will never have it, you know. And they came in and they go, "This is not a euphemism, Miss Isam. If you have one more drink, you will die."
Oh my God.
And I'm like, okay, just get me out of this. And then when I got out, the sober living let me come back there, and then I was still down for a few weeks. But as soon as I felt better, I went out. I was like, coke, crack, fucking
Tell me
meth,
it's not a disease.
drink, all that. And then I was like. So that was so Adeline was born in 2014, so that had to be like 2011, maybe?
Okay. When you were
When I found out
diagnosed
about
with
the cirrhosis, yeah. And then,
What happened came of that?
since
how are you
I've
now?
been sober, I'm good. I get my bilirubins checked every 6 months, and everything's
Good for
been fine
you.
since
Amen.
I stopped drinking. Like, yeah, it's
The
weird.
liver is fucking resilient.
Yeah.
But you got to stop. Like,
Yeah.
That's what people don't.
So I went on drinking for
When you
another
see somebody
2
that jaundiced, it
I was
stops you
bad.
in your
I looked like a
fucking
fucking
tracks.
Oompa Loompa. A Oompa Loompa. And my mom died at that time, right when I was like getting over that. And I remember we have one picture of the half sister. Actually, that half sister has Down syndrome as
You
well.
mentioned that,
too.
yeah.
And my 2 sisters, and then the baby that was there, grown up now for my mom's funeral. And I look like an orange. I'm oranger than that thing right there.
It stops you in your tracks when you see somebody with that.
We just
type
had
of
someone here
deal.
recently that I was like, man, that reminds me of. when
It's
I was like
absolutely
that.
alarming. I don't know. Have you ever seen somebody with jaundice?
I have not.
I walked into an apartment one time, and the kid ended up coming here. It was. You
I
go
know what you're
from
talking about.
DEFCON 1 to DEFCON 5.
What do you do for someone that is in
Get
that
him to the
state?
hospital immediately.
And what's the next step?
What do they do at the hospital? You need like fluids or
I mean, you talk to the liver team, but I will say that I know a couple people that have been to that state, and even Scott Spezio came on the podcast and they were like, we won't transplant you until you get 6 months sober. By the time he was 6 months sober, his liver had healed, and he did not need a transplant.
Yeah, they
anymore.
wanted to put me on the list, but I started drinking again, so
And
they
you get-
couldn't. They
yeah.
wouldn't put me on the list. But so that's how I get up to where I was. Then I started partying, drinking, doing whatever, and kind of back and forth. with
Single,
that.
or did you
Still
get back
kinda
with this
back and
guy?
forth with the-
Did you
with
leave
the-
this guy for good?
No. So then he ends up moving in. I run into him one day. He ends up moving in the house around the corner from the sober living house. So that's how I ended up relapsing.
Damn it.
Again, after that, ran into him, and then they were doing the dope thing there, and I just went back out, and then then we went back and forth for a while longer, and then I think I was out for about 2 years, just drink. By that time, I didn't have a job anymore. I was working at some like corner bars on South Broadway, doing odds and end jobs, whatever, sleeping on people's couches, couch surfing, whatever. And then we split up. Then I met my daughter's father. And I thought something was wrong with my liver. So I was like, my stomach feels weird. And my sister's like, you need to go to the hospital. I'm like, no, I'm just going to fucking die doing what I do. This is what I do. I party. I don't care. Like, I'm not going back to the hospital. I'm not doing that. Like, it's whatever. And finally, at one point, she was like, you just need to go. So I go. And they're like,
You peed on a stick?
excuse me, ma'am. you seem to be pregnant. And I'm like, oh, my God. She's like, check. Let's do 6 months pregnant.
6 months.
And I didn't look any different than I look right now. I would not have known.
Right. I mean, that's...
And I was like, oh, what the fuck? Oh, my God, no.
Scary. And you'd still been like
And I've been
drinking
doing
and stuff?
partying, drinking, and now I'm 6 months pregnant. And it was just a bad situation. And her dad
gotta
was not
feel
in a
so
good
lonely.
situation. You know, her dad was not. I had to go tell him. And I'm like, this guy's going to probably be like, whatever. Because we had only been dating for about 4 months. And that only happened a couple times. And then he had moved, and like we were kind of split up. And I was like, oh, great. Now I got to tell him. He's probably going to be like, I don't believe you. Like, whatever. And he was happy. He's like, this is going to be awesome. This is going to be great. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Right.
Like,
Yeah,
Did you know it was a
you're
little
gonna be
girl?
the one
No.
growing.
Okay.
Oh, no, not right
Not
then.
yet,
No. Mm-mm.
There's something about... I mean, good for him.
But I was like, just devastated. I was like, oh, I never planned on having kids, never planned on being married, never. Yeah, so I was like, what the? And then I was worried because what I've been doing, right, you know, and then I couldn't stop. Like, I couldn't stop. I went to the doctor, and they were like, don't drink because the alcohol syndrome, what's it called?
Fetal alcohol
Yeah.
syndrome.
So they said don't do that, but I told them I was smoking meth, and they didn't say don't smoke meth. So I hear, oh, go ahead and smoke
Right,
the
just
meth.
don't drink, but you
I
can-
mean, I was honest the whole time, but I just couldn't stop. And
disease.
that's so sad to say. I hate.
I
saying that out
appreciate
loud.
your courage, though. It's
brave as
fucking-
fuck.
Yeah. Bingo. It is so...
especially because it's out of your control. Like, is a disease. Like,
Well, yeah.
The
It's the shame and guilt of it. It's.
But you're beating that. Like, you're
Yeah.
showing people
Yeah.
that the shame and guilt doesn't have to win, and because there's so many people that would say they could never admit it, but talking about that is what shines.
Well,
a
I'm
light on
hoping
this.
it would help if someone else would hear me say that, because I have a
100%.
lot of people,
And it
and then they're
does.
like, "Hey," they come into treatment and they're like, "I'm pregnant." Like, okay, so
Right.
now what you're here, so this is a great start, you know.
happened to a couple of people I know personally that it was. I mean, and it's a. I mean, you want to talk about. You could really lean into this being a fucking miracle,
Yeah.
all the way around.
Oh, it is.
So when she was born, you said they didn't let you take her home.
No, so I had it all planned out. Like, she's going to be born on the 4th of July. I'm going to stop on this day, and it's going to be fine, and like it's going to be great. Well, then her dad goes to jail, gets picked up
Okay.
on some charges, and so he gets arrested. And I didn't hear from him for a couple of days. I'm like, oh God. And then I find out he's picked up. He's in Jefferson County, and I'm like, shit. Staying kind of here and there, paying for my rent, like in dope. Like I'm selling, and that's the only way I have to make money is I'm selling and I'm using. So most people don't know that I'm using, but I am. And
You're
I
smoking it, snorting it.
smoking it, snorting it. Yeah, I never did the needle thing, thank God.
God, I heard that's.
I thank God I wouldn't be sitting here probably if that was the case for me. But so I went into. She was supposed to be born on the 7th, I believe. So I was like, I'm going to have it all planned out. And it was 4th of July. And all of a sudden, I'm like, something's happening here. And then he happens to call from jail. And I'm like, I think something's
Is
happening.
her birthday July 4th?
July 5th.
July 5th. Okay.
oh, that's my sister.
And then I didn't have anybody to take me. I had to pay someone in
Fuck.
dope to take me to the hospital. And
Nice.
They drop
Oh my
me
God.
off. And then the blood pressure's all jacked up. So they're like, I was high risk pregnancy because I was 38 years old when I'm pregnant. So I'm high risk pregnancy already. I'm doing what I'm doing. And they're like, okay, we need to hurry up and C-section this. And no one was there. It was just weird. And then his mom showed up at the hospital that night after and I was just whipped. And so grandma, his mom, and his sister came, and they were the only people that were up there for real. And I kind of let them kind of take the reins because I was just beat. I don't think I had slept for like a week.
Where was she born? You might have said this.
She was Barnes.
Barnes.
Yeah, Barnes. Yeah. And I wasn't really thinking too much about, like, I was just like, I need to sleep. And so I would think 2 days, third day, lady at my bedside, Miss Isam, you and your daughter both test positive for methamphetamines. And so we're going to have a hearing. We're going to, we should call it a hearing, I think. Do you have any character witnesses that can come up and speak on your behalf? And at the time I didn't really have anybody. So my sister came up there, and another girl that that wasn't doing good either, and his mom came to the hearing. And they're like, okay, so who can take the baby? Wherever the baby goes, you can't be. Like, wherever the baby goes, you just can't be there. And we do have this family drug court program that can kind of help you get over your drug addiction and get you reunited faster rather than going straight through DCFS or DFS. It's DFS over there. And I was like, okay, well, what's that? So my sister stepped up, and she was going to try to take her, but she had the police at her house for a domestic at one point in time, and so she was out. So then grandma was like, okay, can I do it? And they were like, approved her to be temporary foster. Wow. So she went with grandma, which was amazing. Yeah. And then I had like at first I didn't have anything, and then they were like, okay, hour a week visits at not Places for People, but the
Chestnut
Family Forward.
We were talking about the place. I forgot.
That's right.
Yeah. Gosh. Oh, I can't think of the name
Where
of it.
Where is it at? Give me a location.
It's like,
because Places for People was where
yeah,
I
Places for
worked.
People, and then you mentioned another Good
the Foster
Shepherd,
and Adoptive Coalition.
Good Shepherd,
bringing families together.
Man, I don't know. I had to go there to do our visits there. I remember, and then they gave me a social worker from Places for People.
Okay.
And then for drug court, like I had to go to.
What year was that?
So 2014.
14. So you got okay.
It was Good Shepherd, I think. Good Shepherd.
Good Shepherd was Ashley and I's case.
Yes. So
it was like when I remember going to the Good Shepherd building. It's off of like.
It's not in the greatest neighborhood.
It's like North City-ish.
Yes. That's where I had to go to see her.
It's kind of like U City-ish.
Yep. The Good Shepherd.
Absolutely.
So I had to do my visits there, supervised, an hour a week. I got it first, and I just did all the things. Like, I had a lot of things I had to do, and my goal at first was I was going to drug court.
That's so wild that you were.
And seeing the judge, but I would go and do my drops, and I'm like, I'm dirty. And they're like, okay. And I'm like, I'm here. It's going to be dirty. I'm here. Because I couldn't stop. I couldn't do it. I was still hooked on it. They just took my baby.
Right.
Yeah.
You're fucking devastated, right? Your only way to make money is to sell drugs, and and you're a drug addict, and now you just took my kid. So, like, now I'm just going to be good and, like, happy
with a
and stop
pamphlet to
using.
Yeah.
And here, go to drug court. So I had to go down. At this point, I was living in the city, no car, none of that. Had to go down off Vandevener, down to the city to drug court 3 times a week, do classes there, go drop 3 times a week randomly, take the bus down there, do all that. And I'm like, I'm dirty every time I would tell them.
Absolute not a setup for success.
Well, if you take it by the hand, because everybody's like, that's drug court, you're going to fail. That's got you set up for failure, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, oh, fuck, I'm fucked now. But I go in front of the judge, and I'm like, I don't think I'm meant to be a mom. I never plan on being a mom. I think she's better off with grandma. And the judge is like, Miss Isam, you're here every week. You're here 3 times a week.
Baby lock
You're
in.
dropping. You're here. You're showing up for your drops, even though you're dirty. She's like, what can we do? I'm like, treatment. Send me to treatment. And she made me come for 3 weeks straight and say, send me to treatment. And finally, she got me into a place.
That's a great fucking testimony.
Wow.
And it's like, okay, now here I'm doing the right thing. I got goosebumps.
Me too.
I'm going to treatment. And then my Places for Susan was her name, my lady. I remember her face. The Places for People. She's coming out there meeting with me. The Good Shepherd people are helping me. They're letting Grandma bring Adeline out to visit me in treatment for my hour visit a week or whatever. And then things are just starting to fall in place. And then like, okay, sober living. Okay, great. There's a faith-based sober living called the Bridge House. Like, okay. Go there. Great, do it. So once I started doing all the things, it was like once I stop doing the fucked up shit. They were there to help me. They
Yeah.
were help me like get resources. Then they helped me raise up some money to buy this really cheap truck that a friend of mine was basically donation to me. But I got a truck, and then I'm taking. It's all it started. It was well, at first I was taking the SCAT bus because in St. Peter's there's no public transportation. So there's a SCAT bus that goes to Streets of St. Charles. From Streets of St. Charles, you got to catch it there. It'll take you to the Hanley station for Metrolink, and I would take the Metrolink down to Van Deventer to catch the bus to go to drug court, and because I still had to do all those things.
Because you're not meant to be a mom,
right? Well, then because now I'm sober and I still have to do all those things. And
you were like the enemy was telling you that to fucking not be, and that judge looked at you and saw you.
Yeah,
like that is fucked up.
So I'm like, okay, that is not a setup for failure. Like, I mean, can you imagine how, look what I'm doing.
Get it.
Like, they're like, and she's like, no, you come, you're here. You might not be straight and narrow.
Because she sees a lot of people that have quit and stop coming.
Yeah.
And they know they're going to drop dirty, so they don't show up.
Yeah. And I was like, here, I'm good. It's hot. This is hot piss.
I mean, that is baller though, to fucking show up and be like, yeah, you're gonna fucking tar and feather me, but here I am.
Right.
What was your thought like when you walked in and you knew that it would be like dirty or hot or however you want to call it? Like, why did you go? I guess like. What did you think was going to happen?
I don't know. I could have not went. I guess I don't know. I wasn't really thinking really well.
You
wasn't really
I guess
like
I wanted
option.
to get to her. I was just like, this is what I'm supposed to do, so I'm going to try to do it, but I can't stop using.
Your daughter's name is Adeline.
Yeah.
How was your relationship with her grandmother while this process is playing
So
out?
I had only met her once or twice before she showed up at the hospital, right? And she was a fucking angel. I'm gonna get goosebumps. She was an angel. She's like, I'm gonna start crying when I talk about Carol. She was a friggin' angel. She took such good care of her, and she was so kind to me. And I consider her kind of my mom. She just passed away here not that long ago.
She did. I'm so
sorry.
Last year, I think. But Cheryl was an angel. If
So-
it wasn't for her, I don't know what would have happened.
So even as you're going through struggles, she showed grace and was
Yes.
supportive.
Yes, supportive. And she's still like, you'll get it right, but we're going to be, you can't come to the house without,
Sure.
you can't
Yeah,
be
right.
around. And she was
Boundaries,
following the
accountability.
rules, and she actually went and got licensed to foster, because I think she might have thought, because I didn't know at the time, but Adeline's dad has other kids. I mean, I learned later, I not learned later, but once I was pregnant, I found out he had other children too. So she's been in this rodeo with him before, I guess, and she maybe thought that Adeline was going to be staying with her. So I think she just saw me even making one bit of effort, and it was like, let's go. Like, this is going to be good.
Can I ask you a question about you mentioned a relapse after you got out of sober living. How sober are you now? How long has
8 years.
With 8 years of sobriety behind you, when you look back at that relapse after getting out of sober living, do you blame yourself or do you blame the man in your life for being was it could you have avoided it, or were you?
I take accountability.
But some people, yeah.
I mean, I take accountability for it was never anybody else's fault anytime I ever relapsed. Like, I can say yes or no. I would say the relapse that is the hardest for me is so after I did all this work and got her back.
Right.
I got into part.
Relapse.
I got so after because those relapses
you're talking about what you're talking about was
so,
before
sober
she was
living.
born.
Yeah. So, but that relapse, I could say, it was because I ran into so-and-so and he was getting high and I did it, whatever. I could blame it on him. And that, whatever. Definitely it was my choices to make. But the harder one for me was after Adeline was born and I did all the things I had to do to get her. And then I got her back and got an apartment and had a job and got a car and was doing all the things. And I went out with someone for the first time. We were going out to have a good time at the casino. We ran into somebody and I was like, are they going to get some drugs? And she said, yes. And I said, let's go get some. And I went and got high. And so now I have Adeline back with me now after she's a year old. I had her back before she was a year old. I finished drug court in record time. And then I went to this house and I remember sitting outside while she went inside to get it. And I was just like looking in the rearview mirror and I'm like, because now I'm done with drug court. Everything is good. And I got Adeline back. I have my own place. I have a car, full custody. Everything's good. And I'm at this place like looking, and she brought it out and we got high, and that was off. I was like done. But always my choices after, because I was 2 years sober at that point in time.
So this,
and I did that.
This is because he asked, but doing the math, this was the last relapse.
Yes.
Was it just the one time?
No.
Okay. How
No.
long did you stay on it?
Almost a year.
And on meth?
Mm-hmm.
So,
and drinking too, but drinking less, but meth, yeah.
Were you trying to like low key it?
Yeah. Oh, low key, a major low key. Like I was sending someone to go get it and bring it back to me, or then I was working and I would go down there and get it on my way to work and trying to hide it. And then her dad was kind of busting me out. He's like, I found this in your wallet, and I'm like, oh, that's not nothing. And he wants to believe me, so he's like, okay, you're moving in with me. So then we move in together. And then I'm still hiding in the bathroom and doing it and going to work and picking it up. And I'm working at WashU at the time, and I'm in the bathroom fucking smoking meth at WashU. And I'm like, I'm going to get fired from this job if I don't fucking stop. And I don't want to lose Adeline, And I had said when I was sober, I was like, if I ever relapse, take her from me. Because if I ever relapse, I shouldn't have her, And then it happened. 2017 Thanksgiving Day, her dad's like, get the fuck out.
Whoa.
You're not taking her with you. And I'm like, it's Thanksgiving. And he's like, I don't give a shit. Get the fuck out. And
what day was that in 2017?
Thanksgiving.
Do you know what day?
What day of the week? Or
well, I
what
just
the
asked.
date? I don't know
I'm
the
not trying to
date
make it
because I
about
had
me,
to
but-
wait to go, So it was 2017.
I'm a November 25th. That's why is my birthday.
Oh.
Like Thanksgiving's always like it's on it or it's Wednesday. It's always right around
Around
it.
there.
So I don't know. I look for spiritual.
So my sobriety date's
Make it about
December 8th, 2017.
December 8th.
Mm-hmm.
So and then did you go back to treatment, inpatient?
Yeah, I had to wait a little bit, but back to the
Okay.
place that I was before, and I knew I had that 2 years sober. So a friend of mine was just getting ready to help open an Oxford house out in St. Charles, and I called her up and I said, I've got to go back to treatment. Please save me a spot. And so I already had planned to go to sober living, and then they let me take Adeline with me that time. Because you could take kids with you to treatment there. And the first time I went, there was people there with their babies, and I was like, oh, because I was so sad about it, And then they were like, she could come.
Did her dad didn't object?
To her coming with
Yeah.
me? No.
Because
Nice.
what was he doing at that
He was
time?
good. He was doing good. He was doing good. We had a lot of back and like, I'm good, you're good, he's good, we're not, we're good. And then,
Is this is her dad the long-term relationship? Like,
her dad's my husband.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so because like him, I don't know. I like that would have been hard to say that. Like, okay, she can go with you to.
Yeah.
treatment.
But when I got out, he had to take her. Like, because I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
I got to
yeah.
go to sober. He's
Because
like,
they're
you're
not
not
allowed
coming
to- yeah,
home. You're
right.
not coming home. And
This
I'm
is
like,
really,
okay,
like,
sober
I-
living. So he took her, and
Good
then
for, yeah.
I'm looking for Otta
yeah.
boys here for him.
yeah, for sure. I mean, it's been a
Sure. And I,
know.
that yeah.
And you guys are still together?
we'll skip that part.
Yeah. Okay.
Um
I prefer that anyway. It was a nicety to ask. I don't know.
yeah, I know very little. But I'm obviously very
how I
defensive
like
and
to
loyal
keep
to
it.
you, and hearing him do these good things
I'm glad that
makes me
someone
think of him as
supported
a human
you.
being.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah,
and,
no, he
no
did-
offense, I never met him, but I love you to death. And
No, good, all
I just want you
good.
to
I
know
wouldn't have said nothing bad to say.
sure,
you
and
know,
I really think that was super. To be that, also to say get the fuck out. Like what a moment in this, because this could have gone way bad.
Oh yeah, if he wouldn't have done that, I wouldn't have stopped. I would have keep saying, even though I wanted to
Mm. Out
stop,
of-
I
and
just
it's-
couldn't stop. I wouldn't stop.
I'm
I
sure
couldn't.
there was so much anger, but like love, man. Like that's
Yeah.
to say that and then say she can go with you to treatment. Like that's
Yeah, I got there and I checked in and I was told Adeline could, because they remember me. It had only been 2
Mm-hmm.
years and I went through this and getting her back, and they knew me and Sherry at the front desk and all this, and knew us, and they were like, "What do you mean Adeline can't come with you? She can come." we'll just move you to a different room with 2 beds and you get to come. And then during the day, they have a daycare. So she goes to the daycare while I do my groups and everything. And then even after
Which
I
is a rare
graduated,
thing.
even after I graduated and left out of that treatment center, I got a job right up on 5th Street at Tacano's Brazilian Grill. It's like in walking distance.
Yeah.
And they let her stay there for
Oh my
daycare
god.
during the day. And I paid them like $10 a week.
So
Wow.
Yeah. All day
shout
they keep her
out.
while
Are
I'm
they
at-
still around?
Yes.
Great. Are they a
amazing.
resource for you?
Yeah, it's preferred family. With Bridgeway, aka Bridgeway.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I will say, it's why you got to be careful. I hear a lot of not great things, and then you hear like miracle great things. So I tell that to people out there. You can seek a negative opinion on any person, place, or thing if you want. You know what? If you want to ask somebody, go ask their. You want to find something out bad about somebody, go ask their ex, right? Like what they think about somebody. You can find and you can latch onto that and make that the truth in the narrative. And I've heard things.
We're all a villain in someone's story.
There you go. Bingo.
We're all a villain in someone's story. It depends on who you're talking to.
So when
Gotta
you
be that way.
how long were you at Oxford?
I stayed there for a year, almost a year. And then he had a problem. He had a difficult time.
Okay.
So then I was like, I got to get out of sober living and I got to take
Sure.
Adeline and find somewhere to go. And so did that pretty quickly.
But
And then
you
he did what
liked
he
it?
had to do to get sober again. And then,
Sure. And you guys, and it's been 8 years since December 8th. Mm-hmm. That's incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, that's by far the longest you've had.
Yes.
job.
Yes.
yes, it is. And it's funny because she's 11 now.
I was doing that. So
She's American.
I was
She's
putting her right around Charlie's
perfect.
age.
She's
Yeah.
so perfect, dude. She's like perfect. She saved my life.
Well,
But-
so just so you know, when she's responsible for us rescheduling 3 times. She had the different recitals come up and stuff, and I'm
Yeah.
like,
Oh, of course,
reschedule.
got
because
their
she's in
cheer,
all the
competition
things
cheer
and-
and playing clarinet and all that. But
Oh.
she's awesome. But she heard me the other day say she's around growing up in AA and all this, and we talk openly like about like
Yes.
Yeah.
stuff's gonna come
Got
around.
to.
People are gonna offer you
why
things.
free
You're gonna be allergic, probably like me and Daddy are. And she's like, and she went to her friends for New Year's Eve, and she's like, they were outside drinking wine, Mom. And I go, it's okay, Adeline. Some people can drink wine and it's okay. But if we go in a store and there's alcohol, she's like, they have alcohol in here. I go, it's okay.
Red flag.
Yeah, red
Charlie,
flag.
we talk about it very similarly, and Charlie he right now shames vapors and cigarette smokers.
Adeline shames me for that too.
See, but like he's more on the cigs. He's like, oh, nasty cigarette gyots. He calls them. And
yes, what?
I think gyots is slang for butt or booty, so they call it cigarette
they got all
gyots.
these
I
different
can't.
things now.
Your daughter and Charlie could probably have a whole conversation,
And we wouldn't
via
know what
text.
the
They'd
hell
be
they're talking about.
Fucking they could be planning a nuclear assault on somebody we wouldn't know.
But no, she's great. She's a miracle. But she heard me say 8 years, and she was like, wait a minute.
You're like, yes.
I'm about to be 12, and you said 8 years. She's like, did you make a mistake, Mom? And I said, I sure did. She said, that's okay.
Oh.
You're doing better now. Now, obviously, she doesn't know the whole story.
Well-
and someday I will have to tell her, and I hope she doesn't hate me for it.
I don't
She
think
won't.
it doesn't sound like God has given her that gene, Angie. I am. Your story is so important to so many people, especially women, especially moms out there. That we've had a couple moms share it at Underground. You've been, and to what Zoe said earlier about just like fucking courage and being brave as moms to come up and say I screwed up. But it's so important because you can keep. I can only imagine you just keep piling shame and self-medicating and run, and not. Next thing you know, that kid's 18 and had never had a relationship. I mean, it sounds like that might have had something to do with your upbringing. I mean, I don't know your mom's story, but to humanize like the shame and spiral can really take people so fucking far.
Yeah.
The
Like my
opposite
mom
way.
died at age 52
That's so young.
of Alzheimer's.
Holy
Whoa.
Yeah. And to the point, like because I hadn't seen her in a long, long time, right? And then I just got out of the hospital with my cirrhosis, and they're like, your mom's in hospice. And I am like, oh, I don't give a
Shit.
fuck.
Yeah.
I was like, I didn't care. And then some people I know were like, hey, if you don't go if you don't go up and see her, you're going to regret it for the rest of your life. So my sisters are like, are you coming up? And I got there late. She was someplace over by Barnes, and I got there late and they were already gone. And then I went up there, and her best friend, God, if they would listen to this, but her best friend that knew now had what happened, but she had come and put pictures of my mom on the wall, and every picture of my mom, I'm in the background, like hiding behind the thing. Oh no, over here on her, like doing this, doing that. And and she remembered, they're like, the nurse is like, she remembers things from the past, but she doesn't remember things from
They're
current.
like trying to prep you.
So she's seen me, and she knew who I was, and her hair was all a mess. I'm like, Mom, let me brush your hair. You wouldn't walk out of the house looking like this. And I seen those pictures, and I was just like, forgiveness came to my heart. Like the things I saw when I was growing up were not meant for me to see. I put myself in situations unknowingly that I shouldn't have seen, and she just was doing the best she could. She's a human being, you know what I mean? So
That's
I had
fucking
to
biblical, man.
I had to forgive her for that. And I remember brushing her hair, and then that night they were like, she hadn't eaten in a few days, and that night she ate, and the next day she passed away.
Oh,
I think she was waiting for me and my sisters to come up.
This is like it's a book and a movie. Like, this is all the
Can
things
Sandra
of-
Bullock play me?
Sure.
Please?
I'm screaming.
Please, thank you very much.
Calling her right now.
I got.
She did good in 28 days, wasn't she? in
Yeah,
that?
she was in 28 days.
She
It's
could nail
good.
it.
She could pull it off. Yeah.
I that level of forgiveness is in how do you think you're right? If you didn't go, you wouldn't have.
Oh,
that,
absolutely. Because I would still be mad.
Sure.
I would still be holding something against her, and
And who does that hurt other than
me,
you?
right? Me.
Yeah.
And then looking back, that time when she walked straight to me and said, "I'm looking for Angie," I'm like, was she already starting to get into that Alzheimer's? Like, was it already happening? Like,
Yeah.
how long? And she's so young. I'm going to be 50 this year. And sometimes I'll forget something. I'm like, oh shit.
No.
Right. It's happening.
It's happening right now. They're like, Angie, stop talking that into existence.
Before
But,
we go, let me
crazy.
ask you this: you do what you do now. Did you ever see yourself working in treatment?
No. So when I was in Bridgeway the first time, my friend Sarah, that I'm still very good friends with, she actually comes here and does a Reiki class for our people here on Wednesdays.
I want to do Reiki so bad.
She does a Reiki class in the gym here.
Wait, the drum stuff?
No, that's
Okay.
a sound lady.
Yeah.
That's sound
You guys
therapy.
do
But
sound
we
bathing?
Yeah, it's sound
drum
therapy.
therapy.
Drum
Oh.
therapy. But we have Reiki that she comes on Wednesdays. But my friend Sarah, my best good friend Sarah, in case she listens to this. But I forgot what my point was I was saying about Sarah.
Well, I asked if you ever wanted to thought yourself would work in treatment in a
so
Bridgeway.
she had a friend come to visit her, and she was like, the whole time she was staring at you going, does she work here? Does she work here?
That's
and I'm
funny.
like, she's like, no, she's a client. And so when I went through treatment the last time, I was like, that'd be a cool job, and then I was in the restaurant business still. And then that just, the restaurant business is hard.
Even sober, you got back in the restaurant? That's
Well,
what you knew?
started working for a place called Bon Appetit, which did like high end cafeteria. So I went in and applied at the MasterCard building. Like their cafeteria is like farm to table, like.
Oh, yeah.
And so it was kind of
Oh, no
different than
fouling?
what I had. Yeah, than when I have ever worked in restaurants. But they didn't give me the job there. But I ended up working at RGA, which is
Yep.
I can't think of in Chesterfield, and I got the job there.
And the food and bev stuff?
Yeah,
Okay.
and I started working there, and
Yeah,
that
man,
was
God-
really good.
God didn't. You can go through all this to be.
Yeah,
in
well, I
food
was
and
there
bev.
really good, and then I see an ad in the paper for a treatment center opening, and I apply, and then they call me back, and we're like, got your resume, we would like you to cut. We're in Dittmer, Missouri. I'm like, hell no, I ain't
Right.
going to Dittmer, Missouri. Thank you anyway. And then a year
Thank
went
you
by.
anyway.
Then a year went by, and they're opening up in Maryland Heights, and I
Yeah,
live in
it's
St.
the
Anne,
white
and I
barn.
apply, and it's the same, happens to be
That's
the
funny.
same place that's in Dittmer.
Did you even know? And then. And now you're in Swansea. Did you even know where Swansea was?
No.
I didn't think so.
First time driving here, I was like, in this neighborhood, I'm like, am I in the right place?
Right.
Like, where am I driving to the treatment center in the middle of a freaking neighborhood?
How did you pronounce it the first time you saw the word?
Swansea?
Yeah.
How else?
I think
would
I
you?
knew how to pronounce it before I saw it.
Oh,
So
man.
it didn't throw me off.
What? Don't
Swansea?
reveal.
Swansea? You
I'm
so
talking
wanna see
about
me?
all these. I'm talking about all the ways that those letters could go together. It just swims around in my brain.
Interesting.
Anyway, I was just wondering.
They
want
Tell us what. Tell us. So, you went through hell and back. I mean, a lot of miracles in your story. I know what kind of mom you are. when you meet women that come in here and moms that come in here, is it because I know what you help with on the outside, like for sober living. Talk to us about that a little bit.
What's that? When somebody's leaving?
Well, like,
here or something, or-
even when, like, does it?
So let's say an example of the lady that came in today that was saying she has kind of a not so safe home life, and she's got a couple kids. And I was like, listen, you don't have to go back there. Like sober living there's a few houses that let women take their kids. Like, and her eyes were like, and I
Didn't
was
know.
like,
Okay, that
yeah.
people don't know that.
I didn't know anything about sober living. And they're like, you're like a halfway house, like a homeless shelter, like no, it's like community living. Everybody's got the same goal. A lot of them are set up different. Like some of them are self-governed, which that's what an Oxford house is. Or there's like the Bridge House where there's a house manager that lives there and like hold you accountable and make sure you do, blah, blah. And both of them can work. Like I've lived in an Oxford house and I've been the one that went out and relapsed and had to call and be like, I got high today. I can't come home. And they're like, go to treatment, come back. Or I've been the one that's like, we need to drug test you.
What is the place in St. Peter's that you do a lot of like trivia nights and stuff for? Is it Hanani?
So there's
Talk about
Hanani
that.
House
Yeah.
is in Washington, Missouri.
Okay.
Hanani House is awesome. Hilljack House is awesome. They're over in St. Louis area.
Yeah.
We do Living in Victory, which is LIV. They're an awesome
And these
resource.
are for women.
The Bridge House, though they have Hilljack.
Jack's got both.
Well, they all have men and women. So does Hanani has men also.
Oh, okay.
But they have women. The Bridge House has men and women. That's a faith-based house.
Okay.
That's where I lived too for a while. And then there's a new Gratitude House
we've
is
met.
women. They run a really nice house over there. They're getting ready to have, I think, a roundup or something.
Yeah, we had a girl recently speak from Gratitude House,
Okay,
and then at Underground. Yeah, so we're. I mean, to
The
what we've
women
been-
and children is what's needed
Yeah.
more. But it's, I think, probably kind of hard to.
It's like a desert.
I would think having the kids there would make it difficult. I can't.
Yeah.
Living with 8 women is hard anyway. Now put 8 women in a house with each of them have a kid or 2.
Yikes.
But it's needed. It's much needed because, especially if their home environment's not safe, their significant others using or maybe abusing them and or the kids, or what do you go back to? Because you're like, what do you do?
Well,
You don't want to
exactly.
leave your kids behind and you can't, so it's kind of, because I did that cycle lots back, always go back. And it's like, as long as I keep going back,
Yeah.
I'm making the choice to go back. I know what's there. There ain't nothing they're going to change. So something
Right.
I got to change, do something different. So
Yeah, and you said it earlier. There's something comforting about the toxicity that we surround ourselves with. That for some reason, it can be equally as addicting as the drug.
absolutely.
And
Because sometimes it's not always just the drug; it's the lifestyle
yeah,
of the drugs.
yeah, and you think that like the sober lifestyle is the most like and I say this because it sounds cliche or not serious enough, but I really thought, I'm like, I can't be fucking boring. Like my life would be so boring if I wasn't
Same.
drinking and doing blow.
Really?
Same.
And it tells you that, and then you get to being sober and you're like, fuck that life. This life is the good one. Like
Yeah.
it is. I'm telling you, it hijacks your brain and that's what it makes you think, that like you'll never smile at want to be a fucking birder. I want to be a birder.
Can
I
you
want to go
believe
watch
that shit?
birds.
Yeah.
Like it shit gives me joy, man.
The way he's talking about, the way I got a bird camera and now I'm finally gonna get it set up and I'm just excited.
If you
I'm
would've
like,
told me
how
that-
old are you? 80?
Hey, in 2013, if somebody would have said you're gonna want to be a birder, I would have told them, go fuck. Is that bird a slang for 8 ball? Like,
That's a kilo, I think.
Yeah,
that's a
right.
bird.
Oh.
Right.
Oh,
I think that's
what
right.
can and obviously I know your hands are full here. What can, if people come because of the podcast, reach out, or people come to Underground? Like I always want to send just any woman I know that's struggling.
Give
with
them my
addiction.
number.
Done.
Give
Okay.
it my number.
You sure?
Yeah. As many times
I
as
have
I've
been
given-
doing that, but I want
as many times as so my personal phone number is on my business card. And I tell families here, like, hey, when I went to treatment, I mean, honestly, I kind of tell a little white lie because nobody was trying to call, but I'm like, hey, my family couldn't never get hold of anybody, so here's my personal cell phone, so you can always have a link, and they use it. Trust me, they
I'm
use
screaming.
it. But it's on my business card on purpose, and as much as I've given my phone number out, like at meetings or whatever, hardly nobody calls. Just recently, I took the ladies from Bridgeway to church, Like someone else drives them there, and then I meet them at church, and we sit in there with them. And we used to do a class before church, but there's an NA meeting at the treatment center at the same time as church.
Yeah.
And the ladies weren't coming to church because they wanted to go to the NA
Sure,
meeting.
fair.
So we moved them to the earlier service, and we
right.
don't do the class anymore. But so they still come to church. But I gave my number out, and she called me, and she's like, "Hey, will you be my temporary sponsor?" And I was like, "Hell yeah.
I love it.
Get that book."
Oh, I love that.
Well, there is not a soft entry front door, and we're trying to change that with this podcast by growing it so people can. It meets people where they're at in their ear, and then they become friends and family of the show and of us, and want to reach out because it's less intimidating. And by hearing your story, they're going to feel like they know you, and they can reach out. So reach out to Chris.
She said, call me. Hit my line.
We'll get you
Pick
in
up the
touch with
phone.
Angie, and I've watched her. I would trust you with my wife, daughter, if I had one, and nieces, and even hair over here. Zoe, what's going on up here?
Is there a
It's a
line?
little disheveled. Yeah. It's a little-
You look gorgeous, darling.
You are always so beautiful.
I had to put some hair where the headphones were hitting my head because it started to hurt. I don't have a hat.
Sure. Well,
have a hat.
at least you have hair, right? All right. Thanks for not
Right.
saying
There
that.
you go.
Angie, thank you so much for coming on. We appreciate you so much.
You're welcome.
I love you like a sister.
Love you too.
Thanks.
I hope it all made sense.
It did.
that's
Thanks,
incredible.
Angie.
And hope it helps somebody.
All right. Well, I'm gonna, instead of saying "let us pray" to close this out, I'm gonna let you close this out with your famous saying.
Jesus loves you.
Amen.
Yeah. I'll react if I had to. Put some things in the past too, and don't let them distract you, but react if you have to. Yeah. I'll react if I had to. Put some things in the past too, and don't let them distract you, but react if you have to. Yeah. React if you have to. Yeah. Don't know the time, wait.